Oh, you know what I love?
Sports.
I love sports.
Sports. When
it comes to Texas A&M.
Where are you getting this information?
Let me tell you.
Welcome to TexAgs.
It's here. It's time. There's always a buzz in the air when you hit this moment.
He is a guy that has gotten better and better and better. He's just got that dog in him.
We will develop men, we will graduate players, and we will win championships on the field.
I think of him as this hawk. Before long, he's going to be swooping in on those quarterbacks.
Coach Elko's my guy, right? Like, I love him. I love Michael Early. Like, I think Bucky's going to be incredible.
It's football, man. And that's what Warriors do. They don't want to sit out.
And this is a real program. It's not fake. This is a real place. And if you want to be really good at football, this is a really good place to be.
You know, if I'm betting on anybody, it's the Aggies.
Hey, everybody. I think they heard us say we'll wing it.
Let's wing it.
Let's wing it. It's TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We're in the Rollo Insurance Studio. It is the Go Hour presented by the Warehouse at CC Creations and currently hanging out in the
Holistic Planning Cool Zone.
So, OB, let's a couple things I want to get into this segment. We have kind of a condensed segment because we got a packed show today. Let me tell the folks what we have. We have Chris Larkin, who played football at A&M in the 80s. He's part of Aggieland Against ALS. We'll talk to him here in a few minutes. Stephen McGee will be here as always on a Thursday. Got also Ryan Swope, Aaron Torres. Later on in the 9 o'clock hour, Trayveon Williams and Tre Mason. Two different, obviously two different guys, but two different schools, one segment.
That is a packed show.
Yeah, and then we got the fan show guys.
The fan show.
I got to apologize about that. Yeah, we got to do those guys as well. Anyway, let's get into something from Ross Dellinger. Familiar with his work?
I am.
College football playoff commissioners are exploring expansion formats ranging from 16 to 32 teams through a new working group. But if no agreement is reached within the next 2 months, the playoffs will likely remain at 12 teams for 2026.
I love the idea of 16, hate the idea of 32.
What about 24? Could you be talked into 24?
I mean, I can be talked into it, but I just don't like, I do not like the idea that one team has to play fewer games in a playoff than another team to win the championship. I know they do it in the NFL. I don't think it's right in the NFL either. I think once you get into the playoffs, everybody should have to win the same amount of games if you're going to win a championship.
And apparently, if it goes to 24 or beyond, there would probably be no more conference championship games.
Which I think would be a mistake. I think your conference championship should mean something. But, I'll say this, the people in charge of college football have decided a long time ago that a lot of traditions and things like that don't matter. And maybe that's going to be the next one that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I've maintained, I don't I don't know if I think I adapt my fanhood based on what's going on, right? But I'm a big believer in A&M. Let's make it under the current construct. I wish they could have done it during the 14 playoff. I wish they could have done it during the BCS era. But before we move on to another project, I want A&M to take advantage of what's in front of them right now.
Well, and this is the year to do it because A&M has a good football team. I think the SEC is wide open. I think the national championship is wide open. So this is a perfect year if A&M can put it all together. It's out there. It's out there to be attained.
Why did I hear yelling in the back?
I
Did
don't
you
know.
hear that?
I did.
Was that Bronny again? What was that, Luke?
Yeah, it was Bronny.
How did I hear him clearly in my microphone?
He's a loud individual.
No. It was in my, was your mic on?
It's on.
My mic's been off.
Something's going on there.
Bronny's just being Bronny. Somebody must have brought some food.
Hey, I'm going to read you a couple stats before we get into our Heisman watch. Mike, this is from Saturday Night in the South. Mike Elko's lone home loss to an unranked team as a head coach came in year 1 at Duke. Drake May had the go-ahead touchdown pass with 16 seconds left. That was against North Carolina, obviously. Auburn has 8 consecutive losses versus AP top 25 teams in true road games. And Auburn has 14 consecutive losses versus AP top 10 teams in true road games. Only 3 decided by 1 score.
And I think that Hugh Freeze has a history of losing games. Once he loses, usually another 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And all that said is
doesn't mean anything.
Streaks come to an end as they have for A&M.
Yeah.
Against Notre Dame. What was the streak? Like 10 years or whatever since they had won a road game against the top 10 team. So you want to make sure that Auburn's streaks of futility continue.
By the way, did you see that? I actually had him on the show. Sad news out of Central Florida. Sean Clark, one of their assistant coaches, who was the head coach at App State, passed away this week. We had him on TexAgs Live the week leading into that game. So thoughts and prayers to them. I don't know why that hit my mind, but I did see that this week.
Yeah, well, obviously, what a tragedy anytime you lose somebody, and especially if you have when you have some kind of, I don't know if history's accurate, but when you've come across
he was very
paths
nice
with someone. Yeah.
He was very nice in our interview. Time for our Heisman Watch, brought to you by the Shirtlift Law Firm. And Hunter's a friend of our company, TexAgs. Obviously, we trust him with our legal needs. Call Shirtlift Law today when you need a lawyer for your business or your personal issues. Now, usually we do this over there, so OB doesn't have all of his stats, but we can just talk generally.
Yeah.
Number 5 on the list is a guy that I think made the list after week 1. I might be wrong, Carson Beck.
Yeah, actually, he's been on the list since then. Last week, he had a very pedestrian game. I think it was 160 yards passing, no touchdowns and interception. But again, he's
against a very good defense.
Against a good defensive team, at Florida. So he's a good quarterback who's having a really good year, but mainly he's not putting up huge numbers, but he's leading Miami to victories. And, he's the quarterback of the second-ranked team in the country.
This might be my favorite Heisman 5 you've ever had, by the way.
Okay.
And I'll explain to you as we go through, because there's a lot of connections to David Nuno on this list.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
You're laughing about that?
Miami, you're a big Miami fan.
Well, I'm a Miami fan, yes, but there's another one, Haynes King at number 4.
And why not? Again, it's not always about the statistics, and Haynes isn't putting up eye-popping numbers, but you know what he does? He leads Georgia Tech to wins, and he's the focal point of those wins. Again, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but last week I think he had a rushing touchdown. Might have had a passing touchdown too. I can't recall off the top of my head, but I know that he's got something like 5 or 6 rushing touchdowns this year. He won the game against Colorado for him and he just keeps making plays, and he keeps making plays that make his team win. And you know what? His stats, I said they're not gaudy. They probably, if not gaudy, they would definitely be much better. But he set out their stat game against, I think it was Gardner Webb. He had a minor injury, and he said, "Look, let's not make it any worse. Let's let him sit out. You're going to beat Gardner Webb." That's the kind of game that some guys go out and put monster numbers, and it skews what they've actually done.
Number 3 on the list. Again, another connection to the Nunos.
Really? How's that?
Fernando Mendoza.
Is he Cuban?
He's a part of the Cuban community.
Okay.
And he's a South Miami guy, yes.
Okay. How could you not include him after throwing 5 touchdown passes against number 9 Illinois in that 63-10 win? Now, okay, maybe Illinois was way overrated. But the fact is, it was a top 10 or actually a top 20 matchup because Indiana that back last week was ranked 19th and Illinois is 9. And, he goes out and plays great.
Yeah. 5
touchdown passes. Transfer from Cal, where, the wife attended. Yeah.
Irma went there, yeah. Number 2 on the list, no connection to me, but I think we all who did our little bit of research, like this guy might have something special, may drop because he won't play for a little bit,
right.
John Mateer.
John Mateer had a good game in that win over Auburn. Had that 9-yard touchdown, game-winning touchdown.
Didn't he break his was it his thumb, whatever it is?
They said he broke a bone in his hand in the first half, first quarter.
Yeah.
And so he played the game with a broken hand, was still able to throw a touchdown pass. Maybe it shouldn't have counted, but statistically it is. And he's kept Oklahoma. He's been a major factor along with that defense of Oklahoma being undefeated. And as I'm not going to drop him yet because he hadn't missed a game because of his injury. He will. He may not be number 2 next week, but he's still on my list.
Let's hope our number 1 stays on this list for a long, long time.
It's Marcel Reed. I'm just going to ask somebody, if you're going to call it a homer pick, I'm going to say, well, who's more deserving? He's thrown for, I think, at least 220 in every game. He has 9 touchdown passes and a running touchdown. He threw for 360 against Miami. Don't tell me about his completion percentage. It doesn't matter. And I know he's less than 50%, but not all. But a lot of those were, hey, I'm not going to take a sack. I'll throw the ball away. Hey, my receiver's covered. I'm going to throw the ball away. So sometimes, and then completion is the right call. But the fact of the matter is, 360 against Notre Dame, including the clutch 4th down touchdown pass to Nate Bogacher. If that's not a Heisman moment, I don't know what is. Somebody, if you think it's a homer pick, tell me who's more deserving.
I love it. All right, let's open up the phone lines. 979-693-1150. If you call that number, we'll pick it up on the Buppies Catering and
Bartending
hotline. 979-693-1150. We'll pick up the text on that number as well. We go around the room left to right to say hi to the people behind the glass for 2 out of the last 3 days. Is a very tired / grinder. Luke Evangelist.
I don't know if I like that word being associated with myself just because somebody may say something crazy. But no, I would say I'm not necessarily
I get it. I'm thinking you should never be offended by someone giving you a compliment.
Props. Yeah, Kobe Bryant worked harder than anybody, Luke, and I'm trying to give you props, sir.
Luke, you're a grinder. In fact, if I were you, I would start a website.
All right, exactly.
Luke, please talk.
Is that it?
All right, fine.
We're going to have dead air for Luke.
No.
I'm getting a text in 5 seconds.
Here we go.
I
actually do have a stat for you since you're talking stats. You mentioned Hugh Freeze, the inability to win ranked games on the road. He also has a bit of a close game problem. He's 2-7 in 1-score games at Auburn, which is the worst winning percentage among SEC head coaches at just 22%.
But you know what was one of those wins?
Texas A&M. Yeah. And you know what else? When we say things, sometimes the opposite happens.
It does.
I'm just saying, so that's why I'm trying to I'm saying it because it's news, it's a stat, but trying to minimize the effect of it.
Yeah.
Obi, you mentioned Hugh Freeze when they lose, it kind of gets on a roll early.
Yeah.
They've started 0-4 in SEC play the last 2 years under Hugh Freeze.
How have they done against the Aggies? Because that's really all that matters, right?
Yeah.
How are you going to do against the Aggies? In fact, after A&M beats them, hopefully on Saturday, I become an Auburn fan.
Yeah, after the rest of the year.
Yeah,
Win.
Absolutely.
Win. Let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Censor. What's up, Alex?
What's up? How are y'all?
Scoon over.
Scoony pin.
Yep.
What's up, man? Talk to us.
Not much. I'm going to start off with a little injury report. Hugh Freeze announced that Wake Forest transfer wide receiver Horatio Fields has suffered a broken foot injury. Will undergo surgery on Thursday, which will keep him out of the contest this Saturday between the Aggies and Tigers. And then for the Aggies, starting linebacker Scooby Williams has been listed as questionable on the initial injury report, And starting safety Bryce Anderson will be sidelined this weekend.
So he's going to have surgery on Thursday.
Yep, today.
Or, today.
Today.
Why didn't he do a podcast with Scooby? They have Scooty and Scooby.
Scooty and Scoobs.
Scooty
The Scooty and Scooby report.
What else we got?
And then also Mario Craver still leads the SEC in receiving yards with 443 yards. Yep, the nation
world
as well. He leads by 17 yards at the moment, and he looks to improve these numbers as the Aggies take on Auburn this Saturday.
He leads by 17 yards over a guy from Tennessee, Brazel.
Mm-hmm.
But that guy's played 4 games.
Yep.
Craver's played
3. And Craver's 22.1 average per catch is the highest in the nation for a receiver with at least 9 catches.
Wow. Let's get a volleyball update if you don't mind, and then we'll hit a break.
Yep. The Aggies faced off against the number 21 ranked Missouri Tigers last night at Reed Arena. The Aggies defeated the Tigers 3-1, making it the 3rd ranked win of the season and also their first SEC win. They will be back at home to take on Vanderbilt tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. and the matchup will be streamed on the SEC Network Plus.
Thank you, Alex. Appreciate you.
Hey, I've got another stat for you, actually, volleyball related.
Yes, sir.
Jamie Morrison, first 2 years as a head coach, we would all agree they went pretty well here at A&M. 3 ranked wins in the regular season. In year 3, they already have 3 ranked wins in the regular season, and we're, a month into the season.
Now, did I hear if you take your ticket or show that you have a ticket for the football game that you get into the volleyball game?
Yeah.
That's on Friday, tomorrow.
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah.
So
you should do that.
Should be a big crowd.
Yeah, it should be a great turnout. Let's take Jamie Morrison out to lunch, shall we? He's probably busy now, but after the season.
Well, take him now. He certainly earned it.
He is. Yeah.
Like maybe on a Friday or Saturday. Friday, talk about a great pregame meal, $17.75.
There you go.
So you can get the succulent brisket and those amazing pork ribs. On a game day, though, they may go for the turkey, a little bit lighter fare, watching athletes watching their weight like you do. Me, I'd be, going into that jalapeno cheese sausage and that amazing queso mac and cheese because I'm not an athlete and I'm.
See, I'm offended by your commentary because I have just as much queso mac and cheese as you, and I do consider myself an athlete. You can be an athlete and eat it. You can burn it off.
You can burn it off. It might take a little more burning. Might take a bonfire.
This is a true story. The last time we went together, I think I've said this before, he wanted to get 2 queso mac and cheese for 3 people. That was the worst idea ever. Yeah, it was terrible. And you recognized it.
I don't necessarily think it's a bad idea.
For me, it was a bad idea.
But if you have more mac and cheese for yourself, that's like, you can't have too much money, I guess. You can't have too much mac and cheese. By the way, that queso mac and cheese, I'm telling you, it's amazing. And if you want it for your tailgate or anything else, call ahead. Let them know because it's made from scratch. They're not just going to have it prepackaged and ready for you. So there's a reason it's amazing.
Yes. You should call them up, 979-492-6241, or visit their website, 1775txbbq.com.
It's good.
Hey everyone, it's David and Olin from the Holistic Planning
Cool Zone.
I like when we have the chairs here because I don't feel like I have to do this when we're talking about holistic planning. But they want you to know, TexAgs subscribers, they take care of the TexAgs subscribers.
Oh, absolutely. Take care of everybody.
They want to know that anybody who signs up by November 27, 2025 will receive this awesome offer. If the Aggies beat the Longhorns or win in Austin on November 28, 2025, clients will pay no management fees to Holistic Planning for the entire 2026 calendar year.
That's free.
It's free 99. Actually, just free.
All you got to do is beat Texas. Well, it's not if they beat Texas. It's when they beat Texas.
When. And when you go to holisticplanning.com, you're going to love Holistic Planning. So it is holisticplanning.com. Check out the website and take advantage of this awesome offer.
All right, we're back here on TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers and the Rollo Insurance Studio. It's the Go Hour presented by The Warehouse at CC Creations. Today, we're joined by Sissy and Chris Larkin. Chris is a former A&M football player who's become a powerful advocate in the fight against ALS. Chris not only has groundbreaking legislation passed in Texas, but there's some credible ALS research happening right here at Texas A&M, giving hope to patients just like him. And mark your calendars because there's a big Aggieland Against ALS event coming November 1st at Aggie Park. I want to thank you both for coming in. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We love it.
So if I can, just tell us a little story of how, Chris, how you ended up at Texas A&M and Sissy, just about the experience of he being a great Aggie.
Yeah.
Sure,
Part of ALS, you have pseudobulbar, so you lose your ability to talk. So that's why he struggles with talking. I'm sort of like his talking person.
Okay.
She's my age.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Chris was recruited, played here in 1981. Tom Wilson, Jackie Sherrill, and he was a tight end. So when he was diagnosed with ALS in 2022, we are, the struggles, the emotion, what are you going to do? So, and we've been married 34 years. So last year I got connected a lot with the ALS Association. And they had asked me and said, we need help with some legislation because we've been trying to pass it in Texas for 6 or 7 years. And so anything you want me to do, I'll be glad to help. So we started advocating at the Capitol, and Chris started helping, and we got through. It was House Bill 2516, helping ALS patients. It's called a Medigap thing, and they ultimately named the bill the Chris Larkin ALS Act because of all the work. Now, we didn't do everybody. My little sister, Ann Johnson, is a state rep, and so she helped get the bill through. Chairman Jay Dean helped to get through it. We just helped.
It was a team effort.
It was a team. Because it is hard to get legislation done in Texas. I can tell you that. So then after that, I said, I had done a walk last year at U of H, and I said, okay, we need awareness for ALS. ALS is, I call it the sort of the black hole of diseases. People kind of don't know what it is, and yet it's becoming more prominent, and veterans are 2 to 10 times more likely to be diagnosed with ALS than the general public. So, and A&M's a veteran is sort of a military school, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, let's do a fundraiser at A&M. Let's call it Aggieland Against ALS. And Chris kind of got on board, and we started working on it. And we're hoping to bring awareness, raise money. So we're November 1. We're doing we're trying to do the largest ice bucket challenge in America. So the Aggie band leader, Russell Tipton, and Mike Riley, who does the communications, and Lieutenant Colonel Rob Washington, who runs Simpson Drill Field, they're going to help us we have ALS spelled out. The Aggie band, Russell did that. We're going to have 500 people on Simpson Drill Field. So we need people to register for the Ice Bucket Challenge, register for the 5K, register for the walk, come to Aggie Park, because we are going to try to raise a lot of money and make ALS.
Tell them about what the Ice Bucket,
the original Ice Bucket Challenge 10 years ago was just this guy with ALS in his backyard wanting to do something. And he poured a bucket of ice on his head, filmed it, and it went viral.
Yeah.
It was one of the most viral videos in the world.
Yeah.
So 10 years later, all of these people started doing it, and it ultimately raised $110 million.
Wow.
Yeah, Gabe Bach and I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does the Chris Larkin Act actually entail? All right. So what is involved in that legislation that was passed?
Well, ALS is considered the bankruptcy disease because you lose all of your ability to walk and talk and eat, and then eventually you can't breathe. And there's since you can't do anything, you need a lot of care and a lot of machines. So if you're under 65, and this is for Texas, if you're under 65, you can get Medicare disability.
Okay.
but that covers 20%. I mean, 80%. You need a supplemental policy, and that the insurance companies usually charge a person that's under 65 around $2,500 to $4,000 a month for premiums.
For the gap insurance.
Called the gap.
It's called gap.
So what our bill does is tells the insurance companies, if you have ALS, you're under 65 and you need that Medigap coverage, they cannot charge an ALS patient more than, say, roughly $400 a month. So it gives that person the ability to get that.
No matter your age, so a 30-year-old gets the same price as a 65-year-old. So that's the nuts and bolts of the bill.
Excellent. Great.
And since we're trying to raise awareness, when did he first start feeling symptoms? I've read somewhere that it was playing golf.
He was a big golfer.
Yeah.
That is his main thing, right? So he said, and he's good. He was a 6 handicap, and he started noticing, and I guess he can tell you that more than me.
The ball started going shorter and shorter. A 7-9 became a 6 and a 5 and so on. And I wrote it off to old age for years, actually. Then the problem happened, and we knew it was something else. But ALS oftentimes it takes years to diagnose. They don't know why you get it, what you did to get it. There's sort of football. Tell them that.
Well, when Dr. Simrit Parmar, who is the person who she has a stem cell therapy, and she's associated with A&M.
Mm-hmm.
A&M. You should be very proud. She is thinking all this inflammation. So she's doing stem cell therapy. She did some work with ALS patients, and she got some good results. So, we've been talking with her and hoping to help her with her research.
Athletes, so get this, military, as she said, but women get it too, non-athletes.
It's about 60% men, and men are affected. It's usually between 40 and 60 that men start noticing. And it's ALS patients die between 2 and 5 years of being diagnosed. So it seems like a rare disease because you lose the patient. Mm-hmm. So, but I've read statistics that in the next 20 years, there'll be more incidences of ALS. Now, they don't know how you get it. They don't know. There's no cure. There's no remedy. There's all this kinds of speculations that possibly it's all the chemicals. But that's what we're trying to. You need money for research.
We're raising awareness.
When I was at the ALS conference with all these doctors and researchers from around the globe, I asked one of them. I said, "What is it going to take?" And he said, $1 billion, because all of the trials and the research and all that kind of stuff. So we said, let's not cry in our beer. Let's just raise $1 billion.
Raise $1 billion. Can you remind the audience how they can be involved on November 1st and where to get all the information?
Yes, Aggieland Against ALS.org. Go to the website, November 1st, Saturday. We want you to register for the Ice Bucket Challenge. We need 500 people. We want you to register for the 5K and the 1 mile walk, and come out to Aggie Park and enjoy it. We need sponsors.
It's free.
Yes.
A day at the
park.
Music, food, drink, all of that.
AggielandAgainstALS.org.
Awesome. Chris, you look great. Thank you so much, both of you, Sissy and Chris, for coming in.
Thank you all.
We appreciate you all very, very much. And we're praying for you, and you look awesome.
Thanks.
All right, let's hit a break here. When we come back, Stephen McGee will be joining us, our QB1, and you know about Paragon Financial Advisors. They're an independent fiduciary firm serving clients across Texas. No commission, no sales pitches, just trusted advice tailored to you. They have 18 professionals, including over 9 CFPs, a CFA, and a CPA. Their expertise runs deep at Paragon. Their credentials do matter, and so does your future. Visit paragon-adv.com or call them up, 979-693-3907 for a free consultation today. It is Paragon Financial Advisors. Integrity, expertise, and trust. Paragon Financial Advisors. And we're back. TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. Our next guest is, of course, Stephen McGee, our QB1 and your financial QB at Paragon Financial Advisors, helping you call the right place for your financial future. What's up, buddy?
Hey, morning.
How are you?
I'm great, except for the fact I'm spilling coffee on my pants.
I would have never noticed it if you didn't tell me, though.
I know. It blends in well enough to where it's not terrible, but you know me and my OCD, just like it drives me up a wall.
Is there cream in your coffee?
There is today.
Okay, I was going to say that may be a little harder to clean, but you could do a little water and get. It happens to be quite often too.
Yeah,
I'm aware.
It's on the daily. Obi, you ever have any issues?
I've never spilled coffee on myself because I never drink coffee.
He drinks energy drinks, like Catalyst.
Remember that? Remember I had the Bang, and you was all making fun of me about
Bang,
it.
didn't you?
Hey,
you had a great
Catalyst, a proud sponsor of TexAgs. We can bring you a Catalyst.
I like Catalyst, especially the orange flavor.
Yeah.
Which apparently everybody else likes it because it's always gone.
Always gone. Yeah.
That orange flavor.
You like energy drinks?
I'll have one on a random occasion, but I did have one after we did our film room.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and it was good. I forget, pomegranate. What?
Yeah, they got a pomegranate.
Pomegranate, maybe. Yeah.
But I like that. It's kind of like an orange dreamsicle kind of taste. Remember the dreamsicle?
Yeah, those dreamsicles hit.
Yeah, they look like Tennessee uniforms.
Yes, I'm with you.
Stephen, how you feeling about this matchup with Auburn?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm cautiously optimistic. It's like, I feel like we're going to be in the same situation for the next 9 weeks. Might as well get used to it now against Auburn. Like, we should win, but also they could beat us. They have really good players. They have some problems for us, and so any one of these next games that we don't show up and play, we're gonna lose.
Yeah, it's life in the SEC, right? Even we've said it before, the bad teams are good.
Yeah.
Like LSU learned when they came to Kyle Field about 3 years ago, right? Even the teams that are struggling can beat you. And what concerns me the most about Auburn is, quite frankly, not so much the quarterback, but the guys the quarterback throws to.
Number 8, I was about to say, yes.
Cam Coleman, who was committed here, and then, of course, Eric Singleton, the transfer from Georgia Tech. What does good receivers do for a quarterback?
Look at it this year.
We're watching it, right?
We're watching it unfold. Right. It's an offense transformed. It's quarterback play transformed. It's a top 10 road win. It's a lot of things. I mean, you could point to these wide receivers and the effect they've had at A&M, but this guy, Cam Coleman, is a issue.
Yeah.
That guy is going to be an issue on Sundays. He's a baller.
So how do you think you
tackle
deal
him.
with it?
You tackle him at the line of scrimmage. That's what you do. You put chains around his legs. But, I mean, if it's me, I'm pressuring the quarterback. I think Jackson Arnold looks like he does not handle pressure well. I think he'll take sacks, and I think that's where the turnovers can happen. If you allow him time and to create, I think that's where Cam Coleman is going to be extremely disruptive, because it's hard enough to cover him, 2.5 seconds. But if you got a hold on the ball for 4 seconds, it's going to be very hard.
But you know what I really like about Jackson Arnold?
I can't wait.
Is his ability to run.
Oh, okay.
So are you going to play? What's going to happen if you're playing man and you come with a rush and don't get him? Next thing you know, this guy's looking like
picks up 30.
Reggie McNeil against Oklahoma. He's running out in the,
it's a problem.
In the open field.
That's a problem. There's no doubt about it.
Do you just spy him? Like, how many times did you have a spy on you?
Not often. Do I have one now?
You're a heck of a runner. Didn't you every time you go back?
Not a heck of a runner. Okay. I was just I ran hard. I was not a heck of a runner. Okay. There's a big difference. I would say
you were effective.
How do you deal with that spy as a quarterback?
Well, you better be able to run, and that spy hopefully is not as fast as you are. But in this situation, I'm thinking, hey, I'm gonna overload pressure. I'm gonna try to break down their pass protection offensively, and not necessarily always play man behind it, but play zone, give the quarterback confusing looks. You can do a lot on the back end to where, hey, I have one more coming over here than what I have the ability to protect. But then on the same time, I'm getting cover 2 behind it. It's like, what happens? Where's my hot route? Where do I go with the ball? Those are the type of decisions I would try to force Jackson Arnold. I think that's what Mike Elko is so good at, is confusing
and disguising it and things like that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Moving around, giving them a bunch of chess pieces.
Well, I'm looking at some of these numbers. I'm just curious because we think about the big wide receivers that Auburn has, but they're middle of the pack rushing in the SEC, but they're not that far off the lead. They're at 198 yards per game rushing. A&M is the one directly under them, significantly below at 157. Now, A&M hasn't had to rely on the run. I'm curious what you think about that part of the game for Auburn, and is this maybe one of these games where we see more running from A&M?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, we've got the talent to run the football. I don't think it's a question of that. It's one of these teams is going to have to ultimately decide who's going to be the poison pill that they're going to take at it's A&M's offense. Like, hey, you're going to try to take away these wide receivers? You're going to play very soft, a lot of two deep coverages, and eventually they're going to start gashing people in the run game. I firmly believe that, especially with Marcel's legs coupled with that. There's just only you got to pick which one it's going to be. I don't know. It seems like so far a lot of teams have chosen to see if A&M can continue to pass the ball consistently.
They're trying to see if A&M, they have to prove it to the SEC, right?
Yeah, but I think defensively for us, it's going to come down every week to their ability to tackle. And the second level is a question for me. It's like, hey, how good can these linebackers get to the football and get guys down? Missed tackles will plague you. If Auburn has a bunch of explosive plays in the run game, that's not that's going to be a bad day for us. You want to limit explosives. I mean, they're going to make explosives in the pass game. I feel very confident saying that. But TFLs and sacks, negative plays will win this football game for A&M's defense.
We talk about Auburn's run defense is one of the best in the country, and they're ranked number one in the SEC. But I got to admit, I'm curious. I'm a little skeptical. Who have they played? Baylor doesn't really want to run the ball that hard. They played Ball State, and they had -3 yards rushing. South Alabama ran for 140 yards on them. Mm. If South Alabama run for 140, is it that much to think, hey, A&M can get 170?
No.
If they decide to run, though, right?
If they decide to run.
Because if you can throw as effectively as A&M's throwing, do you run?
Well, I think because you are throwing so effectively, you run.
Exactly. Or you throw it and Marcel takes off running on a throw play.
That works both ways, right?
Exactly.
But one thing we talked about the spy. The Auburn defensive coordinator, for some reason, seems adverse to using that strategy, or at least he did when he was at Texas A&M. So that may be an opportunity for Marcel.
Well, if A&M continues to score at the clip that they're scoring at, then the question becomes, can Auburn score at the clip? Because last year's 4 overtime game, for some reason I was saying 3 the other day, A&M was able to score once they got going.
Right.
I'm curious, though, in this game, we've seen A&M have these slow starts over the years, right? Mm-hmm. How important it's going to be at home to have Auburn with a slow start, and with that offense that A&M has, what that does to them.
Yeah, starts matter. I mean, momentum is a funny thing in sports, but especially in college sports. I feel like when you have this age demographic of an athlete, getting off to a good start matters infinitely more than it does even in the NFL. I think those guys are pros. They handle the ups and downs a lot better. In college football environments, these teams get hot, they get momentum, they get belief. There's teams that we've seen stay in football games. What is it, App State comes to mind? It's like you let them hang around long enough, they start to believe that they belong on the field with you, right? And so It's not a good situation. And so that was the story of the teams I played on. Like, we didn't deserve to be on the field with a lot of teams we played with. But if you let us hang around long enough, we start to believe, and all of a sudden you're in a dogfight. And that's what you really want to avoid. So I love the idea of this offense going down there and getting a 10-play drive for a Tubby, and Auburn's immediately in the hole and, backed up, coming out with, allow Kyle Field rocking. I think we win. I think we take care of business, but it's not going to be without highs and lows, in my opinion.
Yep. Let's hit a break. We'll come back with a little buy, sell, hold. Right now, insurance decisions should not be made in 15 minutes or less, and that's why the Rollo Insurance Group, they build lasting relationships through education, helping you understand what you're buying and the why behind it, with expertise in everything from home to auto to business to specialty coverage. Their independent agents provide an option tailored to your specific need, and they take time to explain those to you in simple language so you are never left wondering what your coverage is going to be. They want to empower you to make informed decisions. They have over 60 offices in the great state of Texas, but their headquarters is right here in College Station on Highway 6. That's why you see Jackson, Jason, Morgan, the whole crew all around town. Visit their website, rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs. That's rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs. Call them up. 888-44-ROLLO. That is 888-44-ROLLO. And we're back. Buy, sell, hold now. Brought to you by Aggie-owned Paragon Financial Advisors. If you want financial guidance that truly puts you first, visit paragon-adv.com. So we've done this one before. I apologize, but it's in the news today. It's a little different wording of it, okay? So I don't know if you saw Ross Dellinger's report about college football commissioners are discussing a different playoff format, and in the next 2 months, we'll see a future that could have 16 to 32 teams in the playoffs. It could be as early as the 26th season. So I'm just going to give you 3 different options, okay? Buy, sell, hold, 12-team playoff like we have right now, a 14 playoff like we used to have, or a 24-team playoff. Those are the 3 options. There are different ones in between, but...
Good gosh. So we go from current system of 12 games, which is, was that 4 rounds essentially to the championship, to 5 rounds. You add an extra game. I'm definitely selling the 4 team situation. I think there's too many good football teams that got left on the outside looking in. I like the idea of more. I'm just not so sure 24 is the answer. Like, is this turning into March Madness?
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a lot of football games for these kids too. I mean, like what would that put the total at? If you play in the SEC championship, that's now...
They would eliminate that.
I had this argument with a guy from Texas one time, University of, And this is way before there was a playoff and anything. And you're saying, oh, they'd have to play 16 games to win a championship. That's too many. I said, really? How many games do you play to win a high school championship in the state of Texas?
16.
How many games do you have to play? They don't want to play in the NFL. How many games do you have to play just to get through the regular season?
17.
17 now, yeah.
How many games do you play to win a championship in the FCS?
16.
16. So why is it there's this idea that 16 is so much for the guys in FBS? Is that because, are they softer? I don't think so. So why is that ever an issue? No offense to you, but when I hear that, I'm like, how is it that 16 teams, oh my gosh, the FBS teams, those athletes, they can't play 16 games. It's so demanding when everybody else, high school guys can do it, pro guys are going to do it.
The Tides Tigers can do it.
The Tides Tigers, we played 6, but by God, if they would have let us play 16, I'd have played them.
I guarantee you would have.
Come on.
Luke, clip this and put this all over social. That was your Larry David moment. It was fantastic.
It was
You
great
did sound
moment,
like Larry David for a minute.
Somebody tell me, Stephen, David, even Schoon, why can high school guys play 16 games, NFL guys can play 17 to 20 to 21, and the FCS can play 16 games, but the FBS, that's too much for them. What?
Because they got to study, OB.
That's it. It's a studying.
That's study hall. Dang it.
Somebody's got to make sure Dexter Manley can read.
That's right. Somebody. Can you imagine having that job? Gosh dang. Hey, I'll say this: a lot more revenue for college football. You add in game. I mean, that's why the NFL wants the extra game. That's a lot more cash.
Hey, I would like to go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Scoon over. There's a text there from John in Cyprus directed to Stephen McGee.
Gosh.
Can you read it if you don't mind? You don't have it? I'll do it.
Access,
Here's what John saars. Stephen's reluctance to declare an Aggie victory is not helping my BAS. Can you help me out and get him to convince me we're going to burn the Barners down?
Yeah. Look.
You think they're going to win, right?
BAS. What is it? What was it? NADS? Remember that? I got clipped this week, right? I had the surgery. To end the.
Oh.
So there's
I got a story about that later.
Dude, it's yeah. I don't know. I'm on the up and up. I'm feeling better about it. But if you would ask me Monday this week, I'm like, we're losing. Like we're
losing.
Yeah.
I think A&M wins that game as long as they don't give it away.
Well,
they're a better.
Well, are we going to give it away? That's the question.
Well, that is the question. But, take care of the ball. Don't get the loud penalties. Don't do something stupid. But if they just play
deep down in my heart, I always I love Mike Elko, and I want when he threw the chair last week, I said, "There's something different going on right now." Marcel Reed leading the fourth quarter drive. Something different going on. We don't win these games. We won one. I want to believe that this year is going to be different. But in the back of my mind as an Aggie, I still have this doubt of it's going to be different.
We're getting rid of that doubt, though.
A&M has had an issue.
The only way you can do it is week by week. Like there's people like me that are like, God, I want to believe.
Yeah, I get it.
Some people like week by week minded.
Hey, I think we take care of business. We should take care of business. I don't think Mike Elko dials it up on defense. I think he creates chaos for Jackson Arnold. I think Jackson Arnold struggles. I think he turns the football over. I think that's a big theme this week for us is guys like Cassius Howe harassing the quarterback, creating confusing looks, and that wins the game.
I got some advice for you in a little bit about what you just went through. Don't do what I did. I'll get into that later. All right?
You got some grapefruits?
Bro, I was training for a
Just try to
triathlon.
grapple?
And they said, you got to take 2 weeks off. I took 3 days off. I feel fine.
Grapefruits.
We'll be back. And we're back, TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. Time for a little Ryan Swope and Stephen McGee. Brought to you by Duck Camp. Whether you're gearing up for the hunt or a fishing trip or just trying to survive September in College Station, Duck Camp's got you covered. Check them out at duckcamp.com. Built for the outdoors and designed for everything else. So I think we should explain, a little bit at least, the birthday cake. Stephen is, I didn't realize it was such a monumental birthday, but happy birthday this upcoming weekend.
Big 4-0, man.
That's crazy,
Happy
isn't
birthday.
It? God, it's such an old man. Getting snipped, getting my prostate examined, turning 40 all in the same week.
Oh, man.
Dude, what is happening?
What a week.
What a grinder.
Hey, Luke.
Yeah, this was that was a good surprise. And it finally filled in the dots with Morgan and then learning that he's the guy behind the scenes.
So the audience doesn't
hiring
know.
the
We didn't
scene.
show it on camera, but we just had someone come in the studio and sing to you a happy birthday song.
Yeah.
And apparently she has come by your office on multiple occasions.
Multiple, yeah. And so it all makes sense now. And it would be perfect for Morgan. He's a prankster, you know. He's always got something up his sleeve. What's your price tag right now to eat that entire cake?
Can you put your face? Can I slam your face into that cake?
The entire cake? $1,500.
Come on, 1,500 cash?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
To eat that whole thing?
Yeah. How much?
That's a big number. I wasn't expecting that big of a number.
Eat the entire thing?
Entire thing, bro.
$1,500.
All of it.
I'll do
Every
it on
bite.
there. Yeah, I'll do it on there.
1,500 cash?
Yeah.
1,500 cash?
Yeah.
Should we go for it? Should we accept the bet? Will Lucci just flip out right now?
You would eat that entire thing for
On
$1,500?
set.
I feel like move it up because you guys are interested.
No. That's how this thing works.
I would love to see that.
I would kind of too, though, honestly.
Oh, I would go straight to the gym. I would swim for hours. Oh, I would die. So I want to go to something we were talking about because the whole BAS thing came up with Stephen. Ryan, if A&M wins this game, could it be a differentiator for the future? I'm not saying that Auburn is like this big prize and going 4-0 means anything after going 7-1 last year, but I feel like this is the kind of game that A&M in the past has lost after a big win. And if you get this game, does it feel like, okay, all this talk about it being different this year is starting to really feel different?
Yes, I think that this is kind of going to be like a turning point in the season. I think Auburn's a really good football team. I think it's thank goodness we're here on Kyle Field. I think that's a huge advantage, just having the 12th man here. But yeah, it's a. I'm trying to figure out. Do you think it's a bigger game for Auburn or a bigger game for A&M?
Auburn.
I mean, I think Auburn, and they're in basically they lose. They're probably
They still got Georgia and Bama on their schedule.
So
too,
I mean, they have got to win this game. So it's a huge turning point for their season, which makes me even more nervous because. And then we're coming fresh off a bye week to throw that on top of it. I mean, which is good to get healthy and all, but sometimes if you have a little bit, 14 days of not playing a game, you kind of get off that rhythm.
Yep.
And so, they just got tested and they've got a bad taste in their mouth. I'm a little nervous.
I am too. I'm always nervous.
Yeah.
I always get nervous. I don't know why I should get nervous. Like I don't have to play, but I want them to win so dang bad. And this is a game where I feel like you don't win, it changes a lot for A&M, even though it doesn't necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's in front of you. But I feel like now all of a sudden you start looking at the schedule and you're like, man, it's looking a lot like 8-4, right? Like it's going to be hard. I mean, these type of games are going to be every week to Swope's point. I feel like Auburn honestly should have beat Oklahoma at Oklahoma.
100%.
They should have, yeah.
Oh, dude. I mean, they should have beat them by a couple touchdowns.
They got to get some unfortunate calls against them too, right?
They did.
Like big game-changing calls.
Huge. Like that wide receiver that was.
I'm worried about them. Like I'm like Swope. I watched them. I'm not saying that they're complete, and honestly, their quarterback is dynamic. Don't hear me say this the wrong way. I'm not trying to say he's not a good player, but if he was a little bit better of a quarterback, I would be freaking out about this football game.
You remember the quarterback last year who wasn't very good?
This is so true. Dude had a day. Yeah. Remember that guy, Peyton
Thorne.
I was there,
Balled
freezing my tail out. This dude had a day.
350 plus yards, just killing us.
Unbelievable, just throwing dimes. Danny Dimes out there.
And he ran on us, too.
It was the most perplexing, frustrating day of football.
They destroyed us. Yeah. I watched that game. It was like it was Aaron in the summertime.
I hate Auburn, dude.
That was such an intense game, and we should have won that game 5 different times.
But you can't fall behind 21 points on the road.
No.
And then take the lead with a couple minutes left and not close the deal.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. Look, here's the things we have going for us. I think Mike Elko's calling defense now. There's difference. You could feel the difference in play calling at Notre Dame.
To watch that.
The stuff that he puts together, I love it. I love chaos. And that dude is going to put together, I promise you, that what I can guarantee is that there will be some looks that will confuse Jackson Arnold in this football game. And I think in those looks, there's going to be opportunities for A&M to get their hands on the football. I firmly believe that. I feel like he's going to give us one. What I get really concerned about, especially early in the football game, is that we've been very soft on the back end. There's a lot of easy completions.
I know.
And it's the dink and dunk where they start to drive out. They're going to, hey, I'm going to take the 6-yard hitch route. I'm going to run the ball, get 4 yards. I'm going to take the 8-yard hitch route. If you're just going to give it to us and be soft on the back end, that's where those long drives are.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you worried about 8?
I'm a little nervous. I think, obviously, this game's going to be won at the line of scrimmage. I think if Auburn is able to establish a run game, that will make me nervous. If we cannot, if they start pounding the football and winning at the line of scrimmage, what is that going to do?
Yeah,
it's going to, and then they play action and they've got 2 dynamic playmakers in the back end and they could, it could get bad. But I will say the flip side, we've got weapons on offense. And so
that's true.
If it becomes a scoring fest, I've got full belief in Marcel. He's been in these big time moments. He's getting more experience. He's getting better week by week. I think KC has a huge game. I think he goes off.
Yeah,
I really do. I think he's due. Mario's been eaten, but I think it's his time.
I agree.
And I think he probably $150, 2 TDs. I think he's gonna have a big game.
Do you remember we were watching South Carolina in the lounge and we got frustrated because we had seemingly 1,000 moments where we were going to take control of the game. Like, all right, here it is, dude. We're about to take over this game and win this thing. We should have won it. And same deal with Auburn, right? It's like, we should, and we never did.
Yeah.
I feel confident now.
I do too.
That we have the dogs.
Yeah.
That we're going to take that moment. Like KC
100%.
and Craver take over that South Carolina game. Like we win that football game because we're going to have dudes making plays. Like in those, it's dogfight moments, you got to have your playmakers. And that is something that I think you can't undervalue in a football game like this. Explosive plays and turnovers matter so much. And we've done a great job of both of those. We protect the football and we got explosives.
I want to go back to the BAS thing for just a quick second. Am I being a prisoner of the moment thinking the last 4 years have actually done more for adding to BAS than maybe the last 30? And the reason I say that is you look at 2020 and what we thought A&M was building. In 21, you got a quarterback in Haynes King that can do it. You go 8-4 after beating Bama and all the way that season ended. The next year you go 5-7 with the greatest recruiting class of all time. And then you go 7-5, you fire Jimbo. Mike comes in, you start off 7-1, and you think this is it. This is the year. I think the last 4 years are why we are so fidgety against seeing what we've seen such a good product. Agree? Disagree?
I agree.
There's nothing to disagree with. It's 1,000% true. I mean, it's recency bias. Yeah. I think you can go back and look at almost any year except the Swope generation and be like, there's an element of this BAS every year. Mm-hmm. But there's reason to believe that this time is different.
I agree. I agree. I mean, it's just hard to, when you have that kind of in the background, that noise of always like thinking you're there and reaching your potential and then like having a bump in the road and then another bump in the road and you just can't put it together. But I do think McGee is correct. What he said is I think we've got dependability on offense, guys that we can rely on that are out there right now practicing. They practice really well. They believe in each other and they trust each other. And I feel like we got a sense of feel against Notre Dame what this team is capable of doing in big time moments. And you see this team rallying together and feeding off each other.
Yep.
It's a different feeling than it was last year. Would you agree?
1,000%.
Yeah.
So let me add to that. Let me simplify it. We all agree the offense this year is better than the offense last year.
Oh.
Right?
And
the offense really wasn't the problem last year. Right? I mean, it was a problem in the middle of games.
Wide receiver was
a big
wide receiver production was a
But they scored enough points to win a lot of those games.
Yeah, they did.
Which is kind of amazing, honestly.
It really is.
right? So it's the
scary.
defense better.
I think that's probably, I don't know, a concern, but I think we lack depth over there. And, in this league, you've got to sometimes get lucky, stay healthy. And then 2, you have to have these young cats come in and ball out and just hope that they can catch it and run with it. And we'll be tested, man. And some of these guys, I mean, Notre Dame was a good test, but we've got to have some of these younger kids step up and start making plays. Bottom line.
You said the best thing all week is these type of football games are won in the trenches. There's no doubt about it. And we talk a lot about the exciting stuff, the sexy positions, quarterback, wide receiver. Let's not mistake it for one moment. You win these football games up front.
100% great.
And if you don't have a bunch of dogs on the inside, our defensive tackles have to eat. And Cassius Howell needs to have the best football
I like him.
game. Like that dude he's
a baller.
He's a baller, dude. He's disruptive. I mean, he can do a lot of things. I mean, they have to. And then the second level of this defense, if Scooby's back, healthy, whatever that situation is, they gotta fly. And you gotta get guys that are tackling dang football every play.
Yeah. Our DBs are going to be tested. They're going to be tested this week.
That's the question mark. I think Will Lee is a guy last year that I was big on. I thought he had a good year. I think he's a unique player in that he is a really good tackler at the corner position. Like, I always loved that about him, especially last year. But this year, it's seemingly a little different, right? I think Des Ricks, I felt like was more of a liability last year, has had some really good moments. And it's not to rain on Will Lee and say he had some really good plays against Notre Dame that helped us win that football game when it mattered, but he gave up some big plays. Mm-hmm. And if he's our boundary corner going against number 8, that is a question mark.
Yeah.
Double moves,
What's his name? Coleman or
Cam Coleman?
Cam Coleman?
Yeah. Mr. Coleman.
That dude is a freak, man.
He ate A&M up last year too.
He did.
He had a day.
He's a freak.
And
that back end's going to be tested.
They're going to be tested. You better get home.
So who's better though, Notre Dame or Auburn? If they played on a neutral field, who would you guys take? I think I'm taking Notre Dame.
Golly, neutral field. I think Notre Dame is.
Jeremiah Love is good.
Yeah.
Their quarterback is underrated at Notre Dame. I like him.
I think that would be a great football game, though. I think it's a coin toss.
Yeah,
because I think Auburn's. Auburn's defense is pretty good.
Auburn,
that defensive end that they've got, he's a freak.
But think about all the mistakes A&M made in that game.
Can you imagine blocking that guy this weekend?
No, thank you.
Think about all the false starts A&M had on the road. Think about the dumb penalties that they had, the blocked punt for a touchdown. Like, they made a lot of mistakes on the road, and they still won.
Oh, yeah, we had like 13 or 14
That's
penalties.
the flip of the script that the narrative that we're so used to seeing unfold did not happen. And that's what we didn't give Notre Dame our best shot. We had a lot more opportunities to score. And
he still scored 41.
And you still scored 41. That's what's
crazy.
That's what you got to remind yourself of. And I think when people talk about Mike Elko, I have to remind myself too, they went 8-5 last year or whatever their record ended up being, but this is a guy that took over a football team that was honestly mid, whatever, blah.
Gotcha.
That had very low expectations going into last year, and he was 8-1 atop the SEC in his first year in the hardest football conference in America. And then, I get it. We unraveled at the end, but that's saying a lot with quarterback issues, mind you.
Yep.
And then here we are in year 2, 3-0 with a top 10 road win against a good team in Notre Dame, and he's got his back. If you don't believe in Mike Elko and the direction of his football program, I think you should now. I mean, it's
well, and let's think about this. I've said this all week. I want Kyle Field to matter. It matters because we're always good for a win. They're like, oh, look at what the crowd did. But I want it to be when you come to Kyle Field, this defense eats like it used to. I want it to it's got to be an intimidating place for everybody that comes, not just that one big game a year.
Yeah.
I think that's the determining factor of this game. I think the 12th man, I think it's going to be a close football game. I think we probably win by about 3 points and a close one, and our 12th man shows up and gets us the win. But hopefully we win by a couple touchdowns. But I just think Auburn's they've got a bad taste in their mouth, and they're going to be ready to play.
I promise you one guy will be ready on game day. It's this dude. Put him in.
Dude,
X
birthday,
factor
you get
out
a
there.
birthday on your game day? Let's go, man.
Let's turn up a little bit.
We have got to turn up.
It can ruin a birthday.
I cannot wait.
It's gonna be.
No, it's gonna be a great birthday.
Good.
We're gonna celebrate.
We're gonna go hard in the paint.
So my birthday has coincided with a couple of games at A&M. On the road at Colorado, ended up winning. That was almost a bad birthday. App State in 22.
Oh gosh,
that was the
hate
worst
to
birthday.
see it.
God,
Hey, you want cake, honey? No, I don't. I want to go to
No,
bed.
don't age, brother.
And then last year, my 48th birthday in Florida, winning on the first time on the road in 3 years.
You
So,
made up for it.
Yeah. And this
I'll take that
year,
one.
my birthday weekend was Notre Dame.
Golly.
That a boy. You're on the right track,
are
the
on
right
the roll,
trend.
man.
So now it's your birthday. Let's go, Stephen. Do your
Let's
part.
have a day. I got to do my part. I promise you, I will do my part.
Yeah,
Swope
we will.
and I are going to do our part.
I'll help.
It's going to be chaos.
Before I let you guys go, did you peek at what the SEC schedule looks like the next few years?
I try not to think about it. That's brutal.
That's an interesting deal. I don't mind. Missouri's kind of random. I don't know. What do you think of that? I would rather play like
Arkansas?
Arkansas. Arkansas or
Mississippi State would have been fine.
Mississippi State would have been fine.
Even
but
South Carolina would have been fine.
I don't know.
Would have taken a Vanderbilt or a Kentucky.
Yeah, I love LSU.
Yeah,
I think that's
good.
been a great game for
I
both
did appreciate
schools.
that it seemed like it was pretty even. Like there wasn't a team that made out with a great draw. Like they're like, oh, every year you got cupcakes.
Auburn. You see who they got?
Yeah,
Alabama,
Georgia.
Yeah,
that's tough.
That's
tough.
That's rough,
a tough
dude.
one.
but you're used to that. That's nothing.
No, I know, but golly, man.
True.
But for A&M next year, and Luke put it up for me, but they got Bama, LSU,
bro.
Arizona State. They have them on their schedule next year as well. I don't know what they're going to be, but just for conversation's sake.
Who, we do?
Yeah, A&M does.
We got Arizona State next year?
At Caulfield, and then the next year they'll go there.
Was Levitt back next year?
I don't think he can be.
I hope not.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But regardless, you've got next year potentially 4, again like this year, top 10 teams on your schedule.
Welcome. I mean, that's what's going to be hard. To your earlier question, buy, sell, hold with the playoff format, I kind of like the idea of 24 or whatever it is because, I mean, it's going to be a dogfight. I mean, if you're playing 9 SEC games, plus they want an extra non-conference one that's hard, so it's 10.
Yeah,
I love it.
So there's going to be some really good football teams that drop 4.
Yeah,
that should be in the conversation. Let's be honest, because
100%, dude.
Clemson, like all these softies in the ACC, that 100%. Conference is. You can't tell me. And then after last year's debacle with SMU and Boise, don't come at me with the argument that they deserve to be in that thing. The dogs are in the SEC.
Well, I said before the season started, I think we might get 2 9-3 teams in the SEC championship game this year, and I really do think that could happen.
Yeah,
I wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Like if Bama beats Georgia, would you be surprised this weekend? No, right?
The biggest surprise in all of college sports to me is the world of NIL and transfer has actually, in my opinion, provided more parity.
Yep.
I thought it was going to go the other direction with the haves and the have-nots. A lot of money, building out a roster. I feel like there's more parity in college football now than there's ever been.
Before I let you go, did you see, and I don't want to make a big deal of it, but Texas might get to avoid Lagway. No, apparently he's back at practice. And you saw John Mateer's out for at least a month. So, and the list, Luke, do you have the list of quarterbacks they've missed? You probably don't. But
I can just tell you that they will face 8 backup quarterbacks in their first 11 SEC games if Lagway and Mateer don't play.
Yeah. 8, did you hear them? 8 backup quarterbacks in their 11 SEC games.
That's wild.
Whoa.
I feel like that's almost set up. It's just like some type of scheme going on here. Voodoo.
I'll take it for us.
Dude, you know what? I think we kicked their ass this year, and I can't wait.
I cannot wait either.
Can you imagine going to Austin and winning that game with Elko?
I can't.
I think they're going to get. I think that team's going to get better.
Oh yeah.
They're good football.
I think
I'm not writing them off. I'm just
saying. But I think that we have a chance to go.
Arch is going to get better, and also the ramp up that he's had since Ohio State has been real nice. It's been some cupcakes, and we all get cupcakes, but he's had them in a row to get his confidence right.
I don't love the Sam Houston the way he kind of acted like that. That was a rough look, wasn't it?
Yeah, bro.
But
he's get back to the bench, man.
I know.
Get out of here.
He's not. He's a good player, but let's not make him all world. Like his arm talent, he's a good athlete. He's not a great athlete. he has a good arm at times, but doesn't have a great arm. I mean, it's kind of like he's just mid college player in my opinion.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, last year I saw some glimpses of like, all right, he can take off running with his feet.
Yeah.
He's an athlete, but
it's not.
I'm not
right?
sold.
Yeah,
I'm not sold. He's not who I'm going to go grab. I like Marcel Reed a lot better. Let's put it that way.
Gentlemen, thank you. Happy birthday.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate you guys. We'll hit a break here. We'll come back with Aaron Torres. Right now, Brazos Running Company, you can find them at Century Square. They always have sales out front. If you haven't seen it, just go by. You'll see all the great sales that they have. But they're locally owned, they're Aggie owned, and they're a specialty running store with the best selection of amazing running gear and shoes, including the great brands like Brooks, On, and Hoka. They got it all. If you're a runner or a walker, or you're interested in fitness at all, the right shoe makes all the difference in the world. And they're going to help you find that right shoe for you. Not like another place where you have to try it on or you don't get a lot of help. There, they will find the right shoe for you. They have Viore there. They have Duck Camp. They have Turtle Box speakers and Stanley Cups. Brazos Running Company. They're located at the Century Square below the Star Cinema Grill in College Station. It is the Brazos Running Company. All right, let me explain the situation. McGee and Swope are going to give me a lot of money if I can finish this entire cake in 2 hours. I've already started. If you're watching on TexAgs.com or the YouTube page, I apologize for whatever happens. But the financial commitment that those two young men have put forward, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I already have had more sugar today than I've had in the last 12 months combined. But I got 4 kids and 2 that are going to go to college next year, so I'll do whatever it takes. If anybody wants to add to that, I'll give you my Venmo as well. If you guys want to see me finish this cake, it's now time for, God, I can't even talk. All the sugar's like eating my teeth. Around College Football, brought to you by Milliken Reserve, a College Station community featuring homes, trails, farms, and wide open spaces with a mission to build a healthy community around nature. Take part in the Milliken Reserve community with a Conservancy membership. Learn more at millikenreserve.com. Good God, all the icing. Let's go to the Bubby's Catering and Bartending Hotline. We're joined by our friend Aaron Torres. Aaron Torres online, and of course Fox Sports Radio. AT, what up, buddy?
I mean, whatever's going on in my world is a lot less interesting than yours. Couple things. One, I need the backstory, and 2, I'll tell you what, buddy. How big is this cake? If it's as big as it sounds, I'll throw in $50 to the college fund. But you got to finish it by the end of the show. I think that's the rules, right?
No, the rules were 2 hours from when I started. I started at 9:24 as I'm chewing, so I have 2 hours. I have till 11:24.
4 minutes ago?
Yeah.
So like 4 minutes ago, basically.
Yeah, I just started. And it's a full cake. It's on camera right now. I don't know if you have access to the internet ever, but it is a full camera.
Yeah, when I'm not stepping over homeless people in California. Yeah, I got you, man. Yeah, you're very judgmental. It's okay. Well, that sounds like an adventure. Real quick, because I know we got a short amount of time.
God, this sucks,
and a lot
by
of
the way.
football to talk. How did this bet come about? How did this bet come about? What sucks? I didn't hear that. But how did the bet come about?
Stephen McGee, our friend, former Texas A&M quarterback, and he's a regular on the show. He turns 40 this weekend, and they brought him a birthday cake. They sang him happy birthday. It was great. And then Stephen just casually says to me, "How much would it take for you to eat that?" And initially I said, $2,000. And he goes, "All right, I'm in." And I go, "Hold on. Let me see how many calories are in a typical birthday cake." And it was 6,000. So I was like, I think we got to up that. And Swope and McGee both said we're in. And I'm on the first piece. This is terrible. I will throw up at some point. I just hope it's not during the 2 hours.
Well, and I'll just say really quick, one, I will contribute a little bit to the college fund, but 2, I'm not a sweets person, so like a half a slice of birthday cake is more than enough for me, and you are much healthier than I am to begin with. So, in all seriousness, be safe, because your body might go into some weird toxic shock or whatever. And I just, more than as much as I'd like to see you win the bet, you said you got 4 kids, 2 of them are going to college. I want Dad to, make it till Friday. That's my biggest concern. So be safe. And if you get to the finish line, let me know and give me your Venmo, okay?
I might even ask ChatGPT if my health is in jeopardy, but whatever. I need the money. Hey, let's talk Auburn A&M, shall we?
Let's do it, man.
So,
let me ask you, and I know we have a limited amount of time. I thought Elko's comments this week, 2 stood out. Is 1, he said something to the effect of like, human nature would tell you that Auburn's O-line is the best we'll face all year, or something like, or the best unit on the field. And then he said something about the defense, like, yeah, we're really trying to find ourselves. Was that coach speak, or do you think those are 2 areas of concern? Is it hey, it's September and we're finding ourselves, or do you think he's genuinely concerned about those 2 areas specifically on Saturday?
I think he's genuinely concerned. I don't think you get coach speak from Coach Elko. He tells you what he thinks. Like, he'll answer questions directly. Now, he's not going to tell you game plan information, right? But no, I think he really believes what he says. That has been my, I guess, my history with him, is everything is pretty straight from the hip. He's going to tell you what he thinks. So I think he's definitely, look, they do have a really good offensive line. They have a really good defensive line. It's going to be a battle for A&M.
It is. First of all, that's the Northeast coming out of Mike Elko. Us Northeast guys. We a Jersey guy knows a Connecticut guy when he sees one, but neither here nor there. So I think those comments just make the game more interesting to me. My initial take is maybe a little bit different than everybody else's, but I don't think it's really strategic as much as just emotionally can Auburn, get back up? Listen, I like Hugh Freeze, but he was still whining about the refereeing on Monday. And then, David, I know it was a bye week. I don't know if you were with the family, whatever. That was like I know every SEC game is physical, but that was like some next level stuff. And, I know we talk sometimes about the grind of the SEC and it kind of becomes a caricature of itself, but that was like the cliche game of like, man, you just finished up with Oklahoma. Now you got to go right to College Station. So to me, that's the biggest X factor. But I did find the Elko comment interesting and maybe an insight into this game could, frankly, be a little bit closer, more competitive, whatever, than maybe I was anticipating.
Well, AT, let's think about it. All these SEC games, all of them pretty much come down to a play or two. And look how bad Auburn was last year and what A&M thought they were playing for, right, was an opportunity to go to the SEC championship game. And Auburn beat them. So I think regardless of who and when you're playing them, like if you make mistakes, you're going to lose. And Auburn is a better team than they were last year. They have a better quarterback. The receivers are more mature. Their defense is better. So they're better than they were last year. The question is, how much better is A&M this year? And I think offensively, they are significantly better. The question might be on the defensive side.
Yeah, so first of all, I agree with literally everything you said. I think my biggest takeaway from going back to the Notre Dame game, which I know you guys have talked about for 2 weeks now, was, not just the offense, not even just Marcel Reed, who I've been a fan of long before that game-winning drive, but really the wide receivers. I mean, I know you guys have talked about it probably every day since, January of last year, but those guys just add a completely different dynamic. I think what's interesting with Auburn, I'll be honest with Auburn, there was a lot of like, Jackson Arnold is this, Jackson Arnold is that. I just think the Oklahoma defense is that good. And I actually think they still match up well with teams, even with John Mateer out for the next few weeks. So, yeah, I think to me, like I said, it comes down to a little bit of emotional bounce back for Auburn. And there's areas for A&M as well. But to me, like you said, I think the biggest thing is if you came out of that game with anything other than, is Auburn like a playoff contender? I don't know. But can they beat anybody on any given day if they can really play with Oklahoma for 4 quarters? I think the answer is on Auburn's front, absolutely.
I like what you wrote about Dabo, by the way. Has he reached the John Calipari at Kentucky portion of his career? Because legendary coach, looked like he had something going last year, but then the results don't match the following year, and that happened a couple times for Cal. And then he goes to Arkansas, struggles for the first year, but figured it the first part of the year, I should say, and then obviously had a nice second half of the season. You think Dabo maybe needs to end up somewhere else?
Yeah, I don't know how realistic it is. It just feels like it's run its course. And me obviously being a little bit of a college hoops guy, you go back to Calipari towards the end there at Kentucky, and it was very similar to Dabo from this perspective. First of all, kind of publicly sparring with his own administration, which, as Mike Gundy found out this week, probably not a good idea no matter how you feel. And I think with Cal and with Dabo is, every change that really could be made was made. Calipari went to the portal, then he got young again with freshmen. He changed up his staff. And, Dabo's never going to be a guy that takes 20 people out of the portal. And I think most elite programs shouldn't. But he changed the OC a few years ago. Clearly, it's not working with Garrett Riley, and it's not all his fault. The O-line's beat up, whatever. But the offense isn't fixed. They changed defensive coordinators last year. And it just feels like it's kind of run its course. And I think the bigger thing with Dabo is if it's not going to happen this year, I just don't know when it's going to happen. Cade Klubnik, third-year starter quarterback. You look at the defense. I'm not an NFL mock draft guy, especially in September. But 3-4 guys on that defense could be first-round picks according to the experts. And if it's not going to happen this year, it's just not. And I just think more than anything, it feels like everyone is kind of over that situation. The administration, him, the players are clearly not buying into whatever messaging he's selling. And will it actually happen? It feels very doubtful to me, but it feels like that guy could use a fresh start somewhere else. And he wants to coach. He said last week, I'm 55. I'm not going anywhere. I still plan on coaching. If you don't want me here, let me know. So.
All right. So you tease some things that I don't know much about. What are some of the whispers you're hearing about Nico?
Oh, there was just some speculation after Deshaun Foster was fired that, will he re-enter the portal? I think it's an interesting conversation. I think what makes him unique, he already took a red shirt, so I think he has to play this year because I think the film that he's put out this year is frankly terrible. But I think there were whispers about, where could he end up, who's going to need a quarterback, things like that. So we talked about that a little bit on my show last week or earlier this week, excuse me. And I just think it's interesting in general with this 4-game redshirt rule, but also with the portal pushback now, it just feels like there's this combination of, it felt like you weren't going to fire a coach until basically December 1 in previous years because of how the portal works. And now it feels like these schools aren't as afraid as they used to be. But now it seems like the 4-game, I think the 4-game redshirt rule, frankly, saved Billy Napier's job during the bye week this week. I think it's what's allowing Sam Pittman to coach his team this week. So it's just always interesting that there's just all these little different dynamics that lead to change in college football. And I think for Nico, I think the second that Deshaun Foster was out, the second you're playing for an interim coach, the conversation starts becoming, are you going to be there long term playing for yet another head coach if you were to come back next year at UCLA?
AT, I'll give you an update later on in the day on how the birthday cake challenge is going, but I will tell you this. The icing might be my downfall. The icing is the worst part of this whole thing.
Yeah.
The actual, the cake part,
okay,
not so bad. But the icing, it's the worst thing I've ever done.
I know you've got to go, but really quick, are you at least allowed to drink milk with it? Because, piece of birthday cake with milk is pretty good. But I guess you'd have to drink a lot of milk to get a whole cake down. So
I've had a bottle and a half of water in the last 8 minutes, and I've eaten, I don't know, what would you call this, Alex? Like a third of the...
Yeah, I'd say a third.
Not even a third, like close to a third of the cake. And I've done that in 8 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah,
wow. See,
yeah,
you're going to get there. You might... I might, if I contribute to this, it might be for a hospital bill more than a college fund. But, I think you'll get there. You're a man of honor. You're an Aggie man, so you'll get there. I just don't know what the finish line is going to quite look like. I'm a little worried.
Yeah, I'm going to be worried about my abs later. All right, buddy. Appreciate you.
All right, buddy. Good luck.
Later, man.
Good luck.
Thank you. That's Aaron Torres on the Bubby's Catering and Bartending Hotline. I'm going to have a great attitude the rest of the show. I promise that. I think. Heritage Films time. I love Chance McClain and his company. They preserve family stories, and a lot of times these stories would be lost forever. So the beauty of doing a heritage film is you can do it multiple ways. You can do it on a relative, right? Your grandfather, your dad, your mom, your uncle, somebody that's in your family that you really want to honor and tell their story. And he does those. He does family business stories as well. You got an awesome family business that started from, just the back of your vehicle, like Billy, starting the TexAgs, right? The TexAgs. You also have a lot of other things that they do, like family ranches. They do the year flicks, which are these 20-minute Q&A videos for the kids in your family, junior high, high school, college age, right? You just quick hit videos. But he does it all. These 2-hour documentaries are fantastic as well. What you need to do is check out the website, yourheritagefilm.com, yourheritagefilm.com, or call them up, 713-893-8341. 713-893-8341 is Heritage Films.
What are we doing? We have an interview to play. Welcome back to TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. I thought we were going to play our interview here, Luke. At the end of the interview, all good. Ladies and gentlemen, I am walking around the studio to burn some calories as I'm eating a bunch of calories. Let's listen to an awesome interview I did yesterday for today's show. Trayveon Williams and Tre Mason here on TexAgs Live. Welcome back into TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. This segment is presented by Paragon Financial Advisors. Aggie-owned Paragon Financial Advisors. If you want financial guidance that truly puts you first, visit paragon-adv.com. All right, this weekend is A&M and Auburn. Super excited about that game. We've got two former SEC stars joining us. Trayveon Williams, obviously an explosive player for Texas A&M, rushed for over 3,100 yards here in 2016 to 2018. And Tre Mason helped power Auburn to that 2013 national championship, 1,800 rushing yards. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you making some time.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you having me.
All right,
Thank you for having me as well.
Yeah, so I just want to kind of find out what's going on in both of your lives. Trayveon, start us off. What's new with you?
Oh, man. Finishing up in Cleveland. Spent year 7 in the league right now. 6 years up in Cincinnati. Then spent this year up in Cleveland. So still going, man. Excited to be able to continue my journey from Texas A&M, man. And just blessed to still be doing it.
Yes, sir. We're so happy to see you still playing. And Tre, what's going on with you?
Hey, man. Hey, congrats on still continuing that. I've been doing personal training, working at gym, EOS Fitness.
Awesome.
Really,
yeah. So,
Let's go.
Trayveon, I want to talk about you had some success against Auburn, a lot of success. I was looking through some of your numbers, but your freshman year numbers were ridiculous. You had the 89-yard touchdown in the fourth quarter. What do you remember about your matchups with Auburn?
Man, Auburn was always an interesting one. And I look back at that Auburn experience as something unique because that was my first time being able to get into the end zone as a collegiate athlete, true freshman, game 3. So that was a special moment for sure. But just remember going up against Auburn, man, it was always a dogfight, man, because they always had a great system. They had a great team, great guys that was able to go out there and compete. And still to this day, man, I got some good guys, some good friends, that I played against that was at Auburn. So just continue to do that, man. I hope they go out there and get the dub, man. They're a great team, always been a good team, so kudos to them for sure.
And Tre, I'm looking at your numbers from 2013. You had the go-ahead touchdown against A&M at the very end of that game. Do you remember that? And just some specific moments from that game?
Yeah, I do, man. Donnie played a great game. I think Mike had like 300-something yards. Mike Evans that game.
Hall of Famer, Mike.
Yeah, he's absolutely a Hall of Famer. So, Tre, a little bit more on that game. When you're playing against Johnny and Mike at that point, we know how crazy it was in 2012. What was like the glitz and glamour behind that game in 2013 after Johnny had won the Heisman?
We just knew that we were going to play a great player that game. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows what Johnny did. He was a great player. He made a play at any time. Knew that we had to win that game to further on in the conference.
Trayveon, you want to remind the audience why you picked A&M, how you ended up at Texas A&M?
Man, that's crazy. It's crazy looking back on it, man. I was committed to TCU. I almost went to TCU. I almost was a Horned Frog. But A&M was like, hey, man, we want to host you on an official visit. Just come in. And, let me backtrack. First, it started when Coach Sumlin was the head coach at the time with Clarence McKinney being the running back coach. And I had an in-home visit. And they came to the house, and they were sitting down with me and my parents, and they were saying, they told me what my life was going to go like. They said, you're going to graduate high school early. You're going to come in, compete, get the starting job. And you're going to have a great, successful career here, and that's what's going to happen. And I was like, okay, they end up going to the officials, seeing everything that they had. But the thing about Texas A&M, man, it's just a family environment, man. The traditions at Texas A&M, the culture at Texas A&M is unlike no other. And I'm saying that from a complete bias standpoint, but anybody that goes and experiences any type of A&M culture, they'll see that it's something about Aggieland that's truly special. And, I was able to experience that, and once you get there, it's hard to leave. So I was extremely excited to be able to be a part of that, and I'm so thankful for what that did to my career.
Yeah, that's a great story. Tre, how did you end up at Auburn? What's your story with Auburn?
Man, it was I was getting recruited from other schools. Like at a certain time, LSU wanted to be as a DB. It was at a high school. That 2010 team, they won the national championship, and it was kind of like, that's the number one team in the nation at the time. I'm taking that opportunity.
And it turned out to be a great opportunity. Trayveon, when you look at the Ags backfield, right, and what they've been able to do, just talk a little bit about that. Like, you look at Le'Veon and you look at Ruben's potential. I don't know how much you're able to pay attention as you're playing on Sundays, but like, what do you think about the A&M backfield?
But I've been paying attention to them, man, and they're dynamic, and I like the 1-2 punch of what they have with those two guys, at Owens and Moss, man, and they bring a special type of sense to the offense, and they stand out literally. You can see through the gloves and the cleats how they stand out through their color. But they're a great 1-2 punch, and they bring a great dynamic to this offense, and they complement well with Marcel Reed with what he does in the pass game, and also with what his legs, what he can do in the run game as well with his legs. But I see them having a great game, and I hope they have a great game, but it's definitely going to be a test because, Auburn is pretty good up front. I did my homework on them, and they're, considered one of the top defenses in the SEC stopping a run. So I'm excited to see how they pair up against them, and then that's going to be something that's important. The game definitely going to be won in the trenches, so we'll see how that goes.
Trey, what about Auburn and what Hugh Freeze is trying to do there? Do you feel like he's putting them in the right direction? I know last year wasn't as good except beating A&M in triple overtime, but all right, guys, we're going to have to hit a break here. For the rest of that interview, go to TexAgs.com. It was fun to talk to both of them, Trayveon and Trey. All right, we're going to hit a break as I probably need a bathroom break here momentarily. If your organization or business is looking for an opportunity to engage with Aggies, check out the Association of Former Students. They bring Aggies of all ages together during their marquee events held throughout the year. We're talking Aggie Ring Day, All Aggie Hullabaloo, and The Gathering. They welcome tens of thousands of guests. And there are many sponsorship and vendor opportunities available to get your brand in front of those attendees. They offer a wide variety of both digital and in-person options to promote your brand. This includes title sponsorship naming, on-site presence and activation, and recognition in social media posts, and much, much more. There's also advertising opportunities in both the Texas Aggie Magazine and the Aggie News newsletter. The sugar's making me talk so fast. Oh, my goodness. If your business is ready to engage with Aggies, choose a partner with the organization that's been supporting the Aggie Network for over 140 years. For more information on options available through the association, please email sponsorships@aggienetwork.com.
All right, we are back here on the Cake Challenge, TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. For those who don't know, Stephen McGee and Ryan Swope, the bet that I couldn't finish this cake, this entire birthday cake, in 2 hours. I started at 9:24. I am now 32 minutes into it. And Richard thinks I've eaten about 30% of it. Yeah.
You're getting close, halfway.
It's probably the worst decision I've ever made. I've made a lot of bad decisions. This is probably the worst decision I've ever made. I don't even know how to speak English anymore. I know I'm ESL, but still. So anyway, when we get to the 10 o'clock hour, the fan show guys will be here. And for the first time, they will be the smartest thing on the show because it ain't McGee and Swope. I'll tell you that. And it ain't Nuno. So we'll talk to those jokers. Dr. Chad makes his triumphant return to the show. We'll be back.
And we're back. TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. Everything's going very, very fast. It is time for the Fan Show, presented by Prize Picks, the largest independently owned daily fantasy sports platform in North America. I'm sitting on my pack.
This is as much sugar as you probably consumed in the last decade.
There's so much cake.
In fact, you may not. This is like manufactured sugar too. Like this isn't like the natural sugar.
No, this is bad sugar
that you get from like eating apples, and now we're eating wings. And
I'm eating wings because I've had so much sugar. I need something to feel different.
And this is why we got the third hour on CW for this specific content right here.
I mean, I feel like we're just playing out one of the 7 sins right now. I mean,
yeah, I'm a little worried. I'm not going to get to halfway by 10:24.
When's your cutoff?
11:24.
Oh, that's not happening.
Oh gosh, no.
I'm a guinea.
Yeah, I'm looking at you right now, man. I know 5 fat people, and you're 4 of them.
Thank you. Appreciate that. How about we talk some football? Get my mind off of this horrific idea of mine that I'm going to pay for the next 2 weeks.
I can help you out. We can strike up a deal with McGee.
Hey,
I can help you out.
I'm not against it right at the moment. Let's go to the Angry Elephant News. By the way, Dr. Chad, welcome back, buddy.
Hey, good to see you.
Yeah. I know you're Chad, but I like calling you Dr. Chad because it makes you feel like,
I was going to say Colonel Mustard.
Thank you.
For those watching.
My wife likes this shirt, Roy. Thank you very much.
You want to tell the audience what you told Roy one day when he was eating lunch somewhere?
Oh, well, we were at the breakfast, and I saw you walking up, and I just saw Roy walking. I was like, hey, man, you suck on TexAgs. And at one point, I just saw this rage come from Roy. I was like, it's just me, man. It's just me. Please. So it's good to be back.
As I swallow the worst piece of sugar I've ever had. Let's go to Alex Schoonover at the Angry
getting
Elephant.
worse. No, wait till the next bite.
It is the... I hate pickles. You guys have heard me say that before, right? Like one pickle will ruin a hamburger. I might eat like 7 pickles instead of this. That would be great. Anyway, Schoonover, get the first question. Let me guess. It's gonna be a really hard question.
It's not. It's gonna be simple. I'm gonna start with Roy. What's on your mind?
Oh, I get to start today. All right. I figured we'd go with the not as often guest. You know what? I'm gonna kick it over to you because
It's been a while.
You come prepared. It's been a while.
You know, I got to have my notes.
I can wait. Let's go.
Hunter's over here like, who's this guy?
Nerd. He's a nerd.
Have you guys not met before?
We did. We met
yeah.
right before the show. Okay. What's on my mind? Well, first of all, shout out to volleyball last night. Way to finish it. 25-8 in that last set. That's
Absolutely.
just monstrous. So it's really neat for them to come home and win. But obviously, what's on my mind is the Auburn game. I was thinking, I've been listening every day. I'm so excited for Saturday. But when I was watching the Notre Dame game, I was flying from McAllen back to Dallas to College Station. So I'm just sitting in the back watching the game, and this is Auburn all over again. You know, on the road, big game, got to have it. But then what's different is we closed the game out. And I just think we're having Elko for a year, consistency, all the things that everyone's already said. But I'm just excited. I think our team is different. We're built different now. Yeah. And what's on my mind is we've got a really great coach. We've got a great squad. And I think 12th man's going to show up this weekend.
What's on your mind, Roy?
All right, very well. Yeah, absolutely on volleyball. We all know Logan Lednick is an All-American, but to see Kendall Stower step up and actually lead in kills in the match and just an all-around great victory, especially just finally them getting to come home. Yeah. Right? They played an entire non-conference on the road. But kind of that TCU, SMU back-to-back kind of let down. So I was happy to see them and beat a top 25 team.
Yeah.
Missouri's, was 21 in the country. But yeah, what's on my mind is this line is at 6.5. And I haven't watched every snap of Auburn football, so forgive me. But what's on my mind is this line is 6.5, and I would probably put my truck on this line. I feel really good about this game, even though A&M Auburn, I get it. Like it's a ridiculous series. It reminds me of Arkansas because like weird stuff happens. When we first got in the SEC, you had to be the road team to win, right? And now that's kind of flip flop. So you got to be the home team to win. But and it's not a slight at Auburn. And I know everybody's talking about this Auburn run defense is amazing, but again, like who have they played, right? And John Mateer isn't the kind of guy that's going to hand the ball off 40 times. Mm-hmm. He might need to for the next couple of weeks in case he wants to come back. But But I feel really confident in this game. I like where we're at. I love that it's at home. I love that we're coming off a massive win on the road that we don't ever win. We don't win these games, and we talked about this. So we win this. We get the bye week to get healthy. It was a physical game.
Mm-hmm.
Marcel took some shots. It was just a physical game. So I love where this. I said it before. I love where this bye week was at, and I think that an energized 12th man who is fired up from that Notre Dame game and knows that they've got 3 games before we don't see him for a month, right? So let's do it and let's do it right. I love where this game's at. I love the kickoff time, like everything about it. I'm pretty fired up this week.
Hunter, what's on your mind?
The same. So last week I said all we're going to do is just take in the victory, right? We're going to think about all the good things about the Notre Dame game, and we're not going to talk about things that worry us yet. But they have slowly started to creep back in this week, right?
You've been reading the boards, haven't you?
No. I watch college football every week, and it's just so. As Josh Pate would say, the casuals, right? Preseason, the casuals are like Auburn sucks, Mississippi State sucks. Those are chalk those up as W's right now. But college football is not linear, and college football is not static.
Yeah, not transitive either.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I have also not watched every snap of Auburn. But I watched the Baylor game, and I watched all of the OU game. Singleton, their wide receiver, super impressive. I feel like he's a Craver, KC Concepcion clone. Okay, slot guy, fast. Cam Coleman, if they can give him the ball underthrown or not, it's going to be caught. He's great. Monster. I like their running back, Jackson Arnold. Capable, and he's fast. I mean, he's quick. His legs are very, very fast, right? So concerning a little bit because our defense and what they've shown this year. Concerned about our third downs, right? Ability to convert third downs. But all that said, I'm still with y'all. I like this football team. I like Marcel Reed. I like Elko. I still like our defense. I like our players, even without Scooby this week, if Scooby doesn't go. And I agree with you. I mean, it's not going to be 105. It's going to be 90 degrees, 88 degrees, and it's going to be full Kyle field.
Beautiful day to play football.
Half of y'all are going to be in the shade by halftime, so we're good.
Well, you talk about Jackson Arnold, and again, I saw a little bit of the Baylor game when Auburn played. I didn't. It was kind of just in the background, kind of white noise kind of thing. But I'm like you. I watched the OU game. Like I made sure I had to go out of town to meet with a client. I made sure I was back to watch the Auburn OU game because I thought that was one of the best games on the slate on Saturday. He's not good in the pocket. Agreed. And I get 10 sacks is ridiculous. Like that's not going to happen. Like we're not going to get 10 sacks. If we get 10 sacks, we're going to win by 1,000. All right. But he's got a problem with progressions and decision making. And that's where those 10 sacks come from. It's not an O-line breakdown. It's bro, you don't have 6 seconds to throw the ball. Right. That's not in any league. Like you can't do that in flag football. All right. So his progressions, and maybe it was scheme. I didn't go back and analyze the Auburn OU tape, right? Maybe it was what OU was throwing at him. But if that's the fact, then I guarantee you we're going to look at that tape and say, all right, well, let's throw this at him because if it takes him that long to get through his progressions and reads, and you can contain him because he is slippery, absolutely. Yeah. But he's not good in the pocket. His pocket presence is poor, and his progressions are poor. And it may not be that all the other Auburn games may not be that way, but what I saw on Saturday in a big game on the road, he was incapable of making decisions. And it's like Rush. If you choose not to make a choice, you still have made a choice. Like his indecision was his decision.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, his best play was throw it to number 8. Right, just throw it like Cam Coleman's down there.
That'd be my best play.
Yeah, but I was a sicko last night and watched the A&M Auburn highlights of last year because I just had to see what happened. But then I watched the Oklahoma Auburn, and it's absolutely the offensive line is not bad. Like I was like, he's still holding the ball. I mean, so much so
they did their You go back. I think even Cole Kublik broke it down. Like this left tackle, it wasn't his fault. Yeah. Like, how long is this guy going to hold on to the ball? Right. Now, again, what happened last year was it was Nuno's fault, talking about Peyton Thorne. I mean, it's his fault. The entire loss is on Nuno.
By the way, I have a lot of losses on my resume. I talked about the Notre Dame offensive line before the Notre Dame game last year.
Right. Yeah. Well, maybe we're turning the tide this season.
That's why I'm not saying much.
See how I complimented all their players?
Sure, yeah.
That you've got a lot of cake to eat.
Yeah. The biggest L you have right now is sitting right in front of you.
I'm surprised your hands are like shaking.
When I talk, it feels like I'm going so fast.
You are going so fast.
David, I've got a question for you, but I know it's been mentioned this week, but with A&M over the past years, I found myself defending ourselves, our defense over the first few games. Like, oh, well, we just, it's kind of who we are by game 3, 4, 5. But Auburn's defense and the deep passes and what they've given up. And now we finally have weapons. Like, we have wide receivers. We have tight ends. We have the gambit. So how do we feel about that, knowing that they have, what are they ranked? 120th in the nation? No, but they're like, actually 102nd in the nation, allowed for 20 yards plus. And we're number 4. Like, is that something that we're...
Look, I don't...
Are you chasing your cake with coffee?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It's a smart play, right?
Oh,
it's probably not good for your gut, but, like, I just need my mouth to not feel like sugar 24 hours a day. Like, right now, everything, it's everywhere. All right. You asked me a question about the offense. I forgot already.
The weapons.
Yeah, got it.
Just the weapons and their
explosives, and they're giving up explosives.
So the problem for me has never been the A&M offense. While I know that it's caused them to play catch-up in some games, I'm going back to last year, obviously, I'm not worried about the offense. I do think this year's offense is a different kind of balance where I still believe we can run for 150, 250 in a game because I know but we haven't had to, and we've been using the new weapons. What I worry about is stopping people because Marcel has taken them on game-winning drives before that the defense has let them down. I'm not sure if the defense is better or about the same as last year. I don't know yet. I think they are better at halftime adjustments. That's what I've seen. I've seen them do a much better job at that.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, I agree. That's my biggest fear too. But I like our person. I think the defensive line has done a great job, and some guys are coming on. You see more 5 and some of these, Kennedy and some of these guys making plays. So Elko's super high on Des Ricks. He's been covering well. Will Lee probably needs to buckle down a little bit this week.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of criticism of Will Lee, and honestly, if you go back and look, probably 90% of the criticism is unwarranted, quite frankly. He's playing well. He's not. I know we call him the blanket, and so you expect him to be, the next greatest thing, on the outside. But Will Lee's playing well. Could he play better? Yeah, sure. But he's played well. Des Ricks has been fantastic to watch this year. There's a concern when it comes to, obviously, and we've talked about this kind of ad nauseum so far this season, is the big play stuff in the run game, right? But it's fascinating to me to see a lot of these kind of cheap seat predictions, the people that don't watch any games and they just look at box scores. I mean, if you knew that, I'm having a hard time concentrating watching you shovel cake.
It's a math problem.
But if there we go. Yeah, if you saw the game, if you saw the games, you don't run into a stacked box. I don't care if it's UTEP or Utah State. If they stack the box, you don't run into it. So you don't have to run. You're not forced to run. We ran the ball effectively. Le'Veon Moss had 3 touchdowns against Notre Dame. And I know that Notre Dame defense is not the same that we saw last year. But that Notre Dame defense still has a ton of talent on it. Because we talked about this. It's Notre Dame. Right? They will never lack for talent. And my thought is they're seeing our rushing stats saying, well, I mean, look at Auburn's rushing stats. Well, okay, well, let's dig into the actual game tape. Who have they played? And did they need to run? And did they have to run? Did they force them to run? I feel that this rushing attack has not yet been unleashed, right? It's still we kind of got it in the cage. And this is one of those, it's like in the evenings when I go open the gate and my chickens come out. They come roaring out, man. And so it's one of those things where this running attack, all the offensive line, including Fothery's back this week.
Yeah, that's great.
And we have backs that we know Le'Veon Moss was leading the SEC basically, and damn near did it even missing games. Mm-hmm. And then you have an extra year for Reuben Owens, and you have all this depth and Amari Daniels and this experience. Look, man, if you want to cover everything deep and let us run,
that's the perfect.
Dare you. Fine.
I would love to take time of possession. I would love to allow our running.
Well, and Auburn excels at that too. That's one of their big things. They're averaging like almost 32 minutes time possession per game. So they love to keep the rock. So then it goes back, like you were saying, Hunter, like the run. Like we've got to be able to get off the field on defense.
Mm-hmm. Does the way they play Oklahoma change the way you look at them as a team? Because I had my opinion heading into the Oklahoma game. And I think I'm more worried about them because they lost the Oklahoma game, a game where I thought they were the better team.
Well, I
for
mean,
significant stretches.
I mean, SEC officiating just straight up admitted they spotted him a touchdown, so that was nice.
Yeah.
Glad the first time they come out and apologize, it comes off the absolute worst ever. They're like, oh yeah, that was our bad. But then all these conflicting messages, they clear it, whatever. But to me, it's them losing to Auburn doesn't bug me because
Oklahoma, yeah.
Or excuse me, Auburn losing to Oklahoma doesn't bug me. I don't think that there's any more or less sense of urgency because it's conference play.
Right. I think Jackson Arnold, that was his Super Bowl.
Yep.
I mean, and that for me, I don't feel nervous about that. I think you put everything into that game probably all year and you come up short, and now you got to go on the road again to this place. What I just want from the Aggies is not even, obviously I'm sure Elko, he's pretty good with his speeches, gets me fired up. But just come out clean. There's 2 games in a row, third downs, where we've had a personal foul. Both of those drives ended up in touchdowns. There's so many penalties. I'm like, just let's play a really fundamental game, clean. Stop with the personal fouls. Stop giving them extra chances because our defense multiple times has saved us, especially the end of Notre Dame game. They made some big stops, so I feel good about that.
It's a tough back-to-back. Going to Norman and coming to Kyle. I mean, that's a tough back-to-back.
I think that's tough in this league, right? And we're going to face it.
We're going to go
later in October and November, so get used to it. But I don't take a lot of that OU game as that harps on what they're going to do in this game. I just really don't.
Yeah,
I think I'm sure Hugh Freeze with his. I don't know if he's been bitten by bees. He's swollen and red all the time. I don't know what his deal is, but I'm sure he's on Jackson Arnold's butt. Right, you got to get rid of the ball earlier. And Jackson Arnold, he needs 4 seconds or 5 seconds to read the play.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's going to work out. I think this may go downhill for him.
I love that point. Like, hey, you got to get the ball out. Oh, but look, when you hold the ball too long, it's because you're not seeing the field. You're not getting through your progressions. You're not seeing open receivers. Because I guarantee if you go back and look, he missed a ton of open receivers because you don't hold the defensive backs aren't made to cover people for 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Right. Eventually, receivers will get open. A tight end will squeeze into a little slot, a little hang route over the middle at 10 yards. Yeah, if you tell him to start getting rid of the ball fast, he's gonna press. And when quarterbacks press, it gets ugly quick.
Turnover.
It gets Lagway
And
style.
I feel like he's good at the quick game. The quick passes. He's okay at that, right?
Yeah, well, Cam Coleman's a guy, like, just give him the ball, right? Like, just throw it to him literally at the line of scrimmage and see what he does. And so maybe that's what they run to, and maybe they go to more like an option read kind of thing with him and trying to utilize his legs against us. So, but again, the second half adjustments by Elko have been fantastic, right? I mean, we'd love to not have to make those adjustments.
Right.
But the second half adjustments have been great in the games, even going with like backup. And I'm going to come grab a piece of cake for you.
Well, every time he burps, I'm just scooting further away.
Hey, I haven't heard anything you've said in the last 20 minutes. I'm just kind of an autopilot.
He's got like the monkey banging the cymbals, like Homer Simpson.
Just do it. Just do it.
I'm going to come grab a
We
spoon
may
for you.
need some EMTs just
No,
stay
it'll cost me.
by.
It'll cost me.
he's got
I got to
money
make
on the
this
line.
money. I got to make this money.
Someone yelled no.
If I've gone this far, I'm going all in.
Is this like the Great Outdoors, the old 76er, where like he's like, I'm done. He goes, no, you're not. So you got to like scrape all the icing around.
I hope that's not the
There's
case.
nothing left but gristle and fat.
Let's not give him any ideas. Let's hit a moment right now for Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Instead of ad-libbing, I'm going to read directly from the script because that's exactly what I need to do so I don't, explode.
Can you read? Like, are your eyes focused?
Ready? I'm going to do it with a British accent. No, I'm kidding. Attention business owners, ready to take your operation to the next level? Caldwell Country Chevrolet has just expanded their selection and my stomach of commercial vehicles to meet your every need. From service body trucks to heavy-duty flatbeds and medium-duty trucks, they're also a newly designated business elite dealer. They understand what it takes to keep your company moving forward, and that's not all. Every commercial vehicle purchase comes with that legendary free oil change for life because they believe in supporting local businesses just like they believe in supporting Aggie athletics. It's about a 15-minute drive, the edge of Bryan to the beginnings of Caldwell, a short conversation away, but you'll see the difference when you step on the lot and do business with the great people at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Highway 21 in Caldwell, online, caldwellcountrychevrolet.com. What do you think?
Well, I was listening.
We're back, by the way.
Hey,
whoa, look at that.
Hot mic.
Yeah, I'm on. Hey, so Ryan Swope just sent me a text. Huh? This dude does not know who I am.
Oh,
Sorry,
boy.
I forget I'll get on you guys.
Oh boy.
You can tap now, bro. LMAO. Oh no.
So I told Nuno during the break, I believe he's going to do it because that's who Nuno is. He's not the guy that starts something and doesn't finish. So like literally out of spite and with complete disregard to your health, you're going to do this.
I don't even think money's a factor now. It was just
Plus,
a dare.
he does it with integrity because Roy was like, "I'll take a bite of that cake," and Nuno's like, "Whoa, dude, this is a bet."
So
I know you're hungry.
Bet's a bet.
You guys know I'm crazy.
To buy my own
You
cake.
are, right? I know. I recognize that. By the way, I'm going to join you on that triathlon next month. Let's go. But
You need to.
I literally, when I walk away to use the restroom, I listen to. I hope it. Actually, I shouldn't let it play because it probably curses. I'm listening to David Goggins. I'm doing whatever it takes to be ready, and I'll listen to Rocky. I'll put the music on. I will. This is going to suck, but I'm going to finish it. And I'm going to take my wife to Miami one day or wherever we're going to go with that $3,500, whatever it ends up being.
When you're done with that cake, you might be able to put her on your shoulders and run to Miami.
This is true. I'm going to need to burn half the calories. But I think I'm more than halfway.
I believe you are. Yes, I believe you are.
3/4. So, because I need, mentally, I feel like I got to finish this plate before the end of this segment. Why don't you ask the questions? It gives me a moment to recalibrate.
We'll take over from here, David. Don't
Thank
worry
you.
about it.
Thank you.
You got a job to do, sir.
Okay, I got a question for y'all. What is y'all's, like, I would say most concerned matchup-wise for A&M Auburn? Like, position matchup wise, like Cam Coleman against our defensive backs or Auburn's O-line against our D-line. It was most concerning matchup.
Concerning matchup.
All right, mine's going to be whoever's on Jackson Arnold. Either designated runs or escaping the pocket. I don't know if that's going to be 21 for us or 27 now if Scooby's not going to play.
He's listed as questionable right
I
now.
am just impressed with how Jackson Arnold runs.
Yeah.
It's like Baylor, it's like they'd watched no film on Jackson Arnold, and they were shocked that this guy was just running downfield.
Yeah, they were unaware that the tape was available.
Yeah. And he got out some against OU. He's slippery, and I just think he's fast. And he's when you extend plays like that and you sneak some first downs that maybe you shouldn't have gotten, I think that's problematic.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And maybe this goes back to what we were talking about where, maybe he's telling him to go faster and get rid of the ball. Maybe it's if your first read isn't there, just go. That kind of thing. Like, because I know you're not making 3 progressions. So if your first read isn't there, just run, right? So yeah, I think that's probably the most valid concern because again, how Aggie teams in the past have dealt with running quarterbacks actually means nothing.
Right.
All right. Like this is a different team. But yeah, I think it's whoever's going to spy him is probably your biggest concern. I feel good about the run defense. Not great, but just like straight up running defense when he turns around and hands the ball off. I feel good about it. I'm not going to take the low-hanging fruit when it comes to whoever's covering Coleman because why is that a concern? Like the dude's a freak. It doesn't matter who you.
Yeah.
You're going to need 3 people.
He's probably going to get his.
He's going to get his. Last year he went for 128 and 2 TDs. If he gets 128 and no TDs, I'd be thrilled.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I think probably the concern is whoever it is going to contain. I'm right there with you. That's my biggest concern because straight up running, I'm okay with. Offensively, I don't have any problem with any matchups we have at all. Like I'm concerned for them in the secondary. I'm concerned for their secondary. I am because it could get, hopefully it could get embarrassing. Like they give up explosive plays and we have 20 plus explosive plays of 20 yards or more.
Yeah. And somebody pointed out, Satania had a big game last week.
Right.
Plays a slot, a lot like Craver. So
that, tell you what, if their entire pass defense is to give up the slot as long as they have the outsides locked down, they're dead.
Yeah.
If they decide to lock down on Craver, they're dead because we have Concepcion. By the way, we have Bethel Roman, who everybody has raved about. He just hasn't gotten his yet because other guys have been open. Oh, by the way, we have Bussy. So it's
we've got weapons on offense, and I'd say my concern is not necessarily a specific matchup. It's the discipline on where you're supposed to be on defense. We have been fooled too many times. This year. I'm not talking about last year. There's too many times of and it's nothing crazy, right? Halfback, Love coming out of the backfield, but tight end sneaking out, a little flea flicker here. Just play your role, because I think we got the studs on defense. And I'm hoping, I know Elko over the past week was like, hey guys, defense, look where you mess up. So that's, for me, it's are our guys going to be focusing and not get overhyped with the energy and the adrenaline, like stay on your guy, because if Auburn gets out ahead, I just don't want to play catch up.
I'll give a flea flicker all day, like whatever, man. Trick plays are trick plays, and that's why they're trick plays. They're meant to literally trick you into your coverage and your responsibility.
Right.
So that one I'll give a pass on. It's always weird to me when you see a team like Notre Dame run a flea flicker.
Yeah.
You know, you were top 10 in the nation and you feel like you need trick plays kind of thing. Now, on the flip side, I love trick plays. I mean, I absolutely love them. But when it comes to responsibilities, breakdown, on a flea flicker, I'll give them that.
Sure.
I love special teams trick plays, especially.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, field goal tries and stuff like that.
Swinging gate.
Yeah. And Auburn has, well, not as much, I don't know, under Freeze, but remember, Auburn's always had these sneaky little plays.
Always. And they got, and then how the turntables, right?
Yes.
With OU pulling that crap outside the numbers.
Yes. Well, I feel really good. Just really quick on special teams. If it comes down to that, I mean, I feel good. They obviously their kicker, incredible story, him coming back, but he's not their kicker past 25, 30 yards. Bond, what he did in the second half to keep us in the game, from a guy who was bumped from the starter, but then had to come back, I feel really good about it.
Missed a field goal.
Yeah, missed that one. And without his kicks in the second half, So I feel really good about our special teams in this game.
Maybe work on punt coverage.
Anything else from the social center?
Yeah. No, actually, we need to hit a break.
Okay. So Dave's going to jump in.
Oh, so you're going to take over now? Is this your show?
We don't watch the clock.
While you were eating, he took a bite that I'm fairly certain was literally 97% icing.
Well, because
do you need me to read
I
it?
need to eat all the red thing for it to count.
Do you need me to read it?
No, in fact, I think I'm going to start going to Twin Liquors after this. Because
let's go.
Right?
You know what?
Twin Liquors, you got me. All right? I'm going all in.
You pulled the lid off. It's over.
Sugar, alcohol, let's go.
Same.
Right?
Nuno.
When I go one direction, I go all in. All right.
Great band.
Twin Liquors, by the way, Texas family owned since 1937. Your local home for wine, spirits, and great vibes. Celebrate every sip with Twin Liquors. They're here to help you for all those moments that matter, like celebrating with a big piece of cake. Yeah, they call me the cake liquor man. Take advantage of simple online ordering when you order at twinliquors.com. Your cocktail fixings and wine delivered with DoorDash. Have you ever shopped the deals of the week there? Because at Twin Liquors, every Thursday, today's Thursday, a fresh select. There's so much sugar in my mouth. Items are offered to fantastic prices. Shop these deals in-store and online. And Twin Liquors not only has an excellent selection of wine and spirits, they also host in-store events. Visit twinliquors.com/events to find more events near you.
There was almost an incident. There was I felt it coming out. I felt it, but you guys saw me power through.
We need a waste basket stat.
And I got to be honest, we've got legal here. He didn't sign a contract. I don't believe there was any reversal of fortune rule. And so the hot dog eating cup, Nathan's, every year, like I play in my July 4th around watching that, even though it's just, it is one of the 7 cents.
Yeah.
They have a reversal of fortune rule. I don't think we have to worry about that here. I feel like there's no contract signed, so it's okay.
No, they told me I couldn't throw up.
Well, plus now they're adding on terms like he's got to eat the icing around the tray.
I'm just doing it as best as I can.
Yeah, we're amending contracts well after the option period. This is unacceptable.
Look, my plan is to make it through, and we'll probably put it on the rewind if I finish it on time, because the show ends at 11. I have to be done by 11:24.
You got it.
I think I would do it. Yeah. I think I'm just going to feel horrible for like 6 days.
But at least you'll be up until the game.
I think you're going to get out of your car at the swimming pool and be like, you know what? Nope.
No, I don't think chlorine pool's a good idea.
I think it's a good idea to burn all these calories. I'm going to have to do a whole Ironman today. Anyway, let's talk about Prize Picks, because they're our good friends, and they have a Jalen Hurts max discount. Jalen Hurts just needs 1 passing yard to cash his square for Sunday's game between the Eagles and the Buccaneers, and also free-to-play jackpot. We've had 2 Prize Pick users use our free-to-play jackpot contest in week 3. Splitting the $1 million pot week 4 is already live. You just need to go 6 out of 6 to take home the jackpot. So there's a lot of good stuff. And switching roles is Luke Evangelist, who's now at the Angry Elephant News and Social Center to play the Prize Picks game.
Yep, we're going to start it off with, I've got a nice little timer here. David Nuno, more than or less than 44 minutes to finish that cake. Go ahead and put your picks in.
Less than.
He's going to get it done.
This guy's a champion.
I think he is too.
He will.
I feel full watching this, but yeah.
Actually, I feel like I want cake now.
Yeah.
Like even watching you miserable, like I think I want a really crappy.
This guy's eating celery while eating cake.
He's an animal. He literally went out there and saw what Bumpy's Catering had and said, "Oh, that could be good," and grabbed a plate full of celery.
Well, he's trying to balance it.
Yeah, there's too much sugar.
No, he's all about the balance.
But I'm going to tell you right now, if there's kids watching, you should be in school. But if you are watching, I do feel jittery. like a heart attack could happen.
Oh gosh!
And just make sure my family gets the money. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like this is one of those things where once kind of word got around, because in today's day, use a spoon. So in today's day and age of like social media,
I got you.
This is one where maybe the teachers roll the TV in. They're like, you have to see this happening online.
Where were you when Nuno ate the cake?
Where were you? My generation had Supersize Me. The next generation has Nuno v Cake.
Look,
I mean, let's just pop some Tide Pods while we're at it.
Finally, I've done something that'll be memorable at TexAgs. Let's just take the attention off me because I don't feel great. So
keep eating. We're
gonna look good.
Hey, yeah, you focus.
We'll get David's picks later.
You just do thumbs up.
Answer.
Okay.
I was gonna say, just give him a thumbs up, thumbs down for Nuno.
All right, let's start with Dante Moore.
Wait, let's start with how we did last week.
I didn't play.
Oh goodness. Okay, so David.
Did Nick tank David or?
Matt Browning was 4 out of 8. He's not even here to hear that he was mid. Roy May, another great week. You were 5-3, and Hunter, you were 4-4.
I am 500 every week.
Yeah, you're just the epitome of mid. Literally every single week you've gone 500. That's unbelievable.
Mid's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm not losing money there.
Yeah.
Well, technically,
there's no juice.
Let's start it off with Dante Moore from Oregon. More than or less than 1.5 passing touchdowns against Penn State.
1.5.
I'll start it. I'm going to say more. Yeah.
So you're in the camp that Oregon beats Penn State.
It's hard because I picked Penn State to win, but they have the Big Ten, but they have not performed well in offense. And I think Oregon's real.
And these picks are hard, Luke, because the touchdowns, because you're right, there's so many ways to score. What if he throws down, but they're out of the 2 and they punch it in with a running
back? What if he throws a backwards pass to a wide receiver and he houses it? Then it's a rush.
1.5. I'm going to go less than.
I've got to go less than. That's a big number. And I know Penn State hasn't looked good, but I've got Penn State winning this game. And so if he throws for 2 or more touchdowns, I mean, because it's not going to be like Penn State isn't going to blow him out of the water so he gets trash time touchdowns. I think it's going to be a fantastic, like one of the best games easily on the slate. Whiteout, Happy Valley, right? And I know I think that gets played out a little bit too much, but I think this Penn State team is good. Like I think they are ranked where they need to be.
Okay.
I got you, Nuno. What's yours?
Oh, what was the question? Honestly, didn't listen.
Anyway,
Dante
Moore, Oregon State, more or less than 1.5
What is everybody
touchdowns.
thinking? Are we split?
Well, right now it's 2
Couple
versus
more
1.
less thans than more.
I'm going to go with Roy May, whatever he said.
Okay, less. Gunnar Stockton, more than or less than 217.
Okay, I'm listening.
Passing
Gunnar
yards.
Stockton, got it.
217. Georgia's
Passing?
what? At home with Bama, right?
Yep.
Said 217. I'm having a hard time figuring out what this Alabama team is. I mean,
And the Georgia team.
Yeah. I mean, look, you win, but I mean, it was very similar to how we played Notre Dame, right? Just score
Took a
wise.
4th down play, 2-point conversion. I mean,
What was it? 217.
Yep.
Just flat 217
and a half.
Oh,
Is
man.
that half really?
Oh, yeah, that's going to get me.
Against
You know what, I
Tennessee,
believe it. I'll take more.
304. Against is it App State? No. I think it's App State. 227.
Against who?
Marshall 190.
What do you throw against Tennessee?
He's still losing. He's seeing different logos now.
I think 220 gets him there, so that's not a big number. I think this is a high scoring game. I'm going more than.
Yeah, same. More.
All right.
More.
David.
More.
All right. Drew Aller from Penn State, more than or less than 226 and a half passing yards.
I'm going to be quick on that one. Less than for the substitute.
Yeah, I'm going less than.
I like Drew Aller, but I'm going to go less than. I think this is a really good game, but I think it's going to be really low scoring.
Just hand it off.
So, yeah, I'll go less than.
I really think it should have been 3 hours. I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, how can I do this in 40 minutes? All right, go ahead.
Well, more or less than on
Drew Aller passing.
Drew Aller.
How many yards?
He's delusional. Guys.
How many yards?
226.
What does he normally throw for? I don't know.
Like less than. He's going
Yeah,
less
I'm
than.
less
every
than.
game.
Let's go.
Looks
Okay,
like I'll just do it for you.
Ty Simpson from Alabama, more than or less than 1.5 passing touchdowns.
Less.
Again,
I like
you don't
Ty
know how they're going to
Simpson.
score. This is hard.
I like Ty Simpson. I think it's less.
Yeah, I agree. Less. Well, yeah.
I like Bama on the ground.
Go look at Price Picks. He has an interesting rushing number. I liked it a lot better. 12.5.
Yeah.
I'm going more. I think what Tennessee and Aguilar was able to do against Georgia, and that, I mean, they were just making some bombs. I don't know. That's my only,
it's not a bad basis. I mean, because I like Ty Simpson.
He's just been balling.
I just, again, like I said, I can't peg this Bama team.
That's true. Who knows?
David?
Just pick one.
More than or less than 1.5 passing.
I really didn't listen at all.
Touchdowns for Ty Simpson.
More than.
All right, now hopefully you're listening.
Did we
to
say this?
one.
I don't know if we did. I've said it like 10 times on the air this week. I'm not acting. I promise I'm not acting. That Kirby Smart is 1-6 versus Bama. Did we say that?
Not yet.
Okay, I just want you guys to know that.
Okay, Marcel Reed, more than or less than 294.5 total yards. So that's passing and rushing.
More.
Oh, my gosh. That's a ton, though.
294.
I'm just going to believe in number 10. I'm going to go more.
You know, I was talking to a good buddy of mine, Downey, lifelong fan of the Aggies and TexAgs, and he was just saying he's nervous about this game. And I told him he's wrong because Marcel's getting more than. All right, I'm telling you, but I think Marcel's going to have more. Like we talk about Jackson Arnold running, I think Marcel, this is his where he goes whoop. A little bit more.
294 total.
Spit on actually. Did you see that?
Yeah, 294 total. I think is wildly achievable in a game that even if it's tight, it'll be high scoring.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a 30-24 kind of game.
Yeah.
All right, we've got 3 more. They're all wide receivers. Cam Coleman, more than or less than 54.5 receiving yards.
Is that for real?
Did you miss a
Seriously?
1?
54, yeah.
I'm going to jump on that.
Yeah.
For real. I'm going to go more than.
Yeah, I'm going to have to open up my Price Picks app and bet on that one.
More than for me. Nuno, just say more.
What was the question?
Just say more.
Cam Coleman, 54.5.
Oh, more.
DeCorian Moore from Oregon, more than or less than 48.5 receiving yards.
I just think more.
Yep, more.
And then finally, Mario Craver, more than or less than 74.5 receiving yards.
These are teasers, aren't they?
Dude,
it's like
the goblin and the what's the other one?
No, these are straight up.
Demon.
No goblin, no demon.
Really?
Straight up line.
Now I could see where they put that because coming off the Notre Dame game, you feel like Auburn's absolutely gonna like as a if you're placing money on this, you're like, well, Auburn's absolutely going to lock down him. There's no way that they let him go wild. But the reality is, he's the kind of receiver that can go wild even if you try and lock him down.
That little swing pass, crossing, a slant. Like it's not like Cam Coleman deep. It's
wait, he's 74.5, right?
Yep.
That's one pass.
Yeah.
For Craver.
Yeah, he's at back-to-back.
More than. Yeah, more.
All right, yeah, that's all I got.
That's all we have?
I said more before you hit the number, and if you said 125, I probably would have stuck with it.
Greatest mustache in College Station.
Can we
Well,
leave the stream?
This is like
open
Hugh
until
Hefner lounging
11:24?
on this chair.
Are we allowed?
We could do like overtime, sure.
Yeah, like an overtime, and like they don't have to stay if they have to go, but
we're gonna watch.
Yeah, we can.
You're going to need it.
You guys do most of the talking. I do.
You're going to need overtime.
Yeah.
No,
And-
we may do play-by-play in the whole deal.
I probably need some more waters. Just
Get
this man some
relay
water.
that information to the people.
All right,
in
let's
the
hit a
back.
break.
Yeah, you stall for me.
I don't know what's happening, so we're gonna hit a break. And I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. This is not an act. I feel very weird.
You need me to read something?
No, there's nothing to read.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've read it all.
You got cake on your laptop.
Yeah, there's.
I spit like a little piece of chocolate when we were talking, and then Luke saw me. He goes,
Oh, look at the
Look
cake.
at that.
Look
You
at
are
that
making a
progress.
dent. Can we
Look
get like
at
a
that
progression?
progress.
"Bro, I'm just gonna tell you guys, don't ever do this." But I'm going to do it. I'm going to
Yeah.
win.
Careful when
McGee,
you
I
hang
hope
out
you're
with
watching.
Swope and McGee,
Swope, I hope
man.
you're watching. Yes, I understand we have to hit a break, so let's do that. We'll hit a break. We'll come back with more cake talk, and we're going to get an update from our good friends at Buppy's Catering and Bartending. And we're back, even though my mic's not working. Welcome back to TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio, Cake Watch. I've got, 30 minutes now to...
yeah, I mean, if I looked at it, I would say 82%, 83% of the cake has been eaten.
Yeah.
You've
done a job.
And we haven't touched Swope. You should start sweating.
And McGee.
Yeah, I said McGee first.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
He's the instigator.
I can't hear anything. So, and I can't hear anything because my IFB stopped working. I guess the battery died.
Just like carnival tunes in his ears.
And let's check in with Buppy's Catering and Bartending. You know, they've been catering our food for, I guess, every home game this year. They've been fantastic to us.
Yes.
Great spreads out there.
But let's go out there and let's see. Alex Schoonover's hanging out with Buppy himself, who brought the spread. Mr. Schoonover, take it away.
Yes, sir. I'm here with Mr. Buppy right now. He's brought some wings, some chicken, some beans. OB, what is this right here?
It's like macaroni and cheese, but it's shells.
Macaroni, cheese, and shells. And then we got some rolls, and some carrots, celery, some vegetables, and I think this is chocolate pudding with Oreos. Looks pretty good.
You get to this slice, then you're on the home stretch.
All right.
Alrighty. And I'm here with Mr. Buppy. Mr. Buppy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So what are your takes on the game this weekend?
I always feel good when we're here at home at Kyle Field and a team led by Mike Elko and the 12th man.
That's awesome. All right, Mr. David Nunez, we are back to you.
Wish you could have talked for a few more seconds, bro. Swallowing.
Well, that's great. Buppy himself.
Yeah, Buppy's in the house, got the wing spread.
Just a
Come
pillar
on,
of
man.
the community,
You want-
first of all.
I wish there was like a wing challenge. I think I would have destroyed most people.
Well, you know, there's a wing challenge at
That's after this at the Buppy's Catering out
That's
there.
right. Yeah, we're gonna hold our own wing. I will smoke y'all.
Hey, real quick.
I'm fat.
Great day of football around.
Holy moly.
SEC, LSU, Ole Miss. Who you got? Straight up.
I took Ole Miss.
Straight up.
I took Ole Miss straight
Okay.
up. Yeah.
I'm not an LSU believer yet.
I took LSU because of the defense. I don't think that backup from Karis Fair State, wherever he's from, I just think they're going to run into a defense there.
I think Lane Kiffin is a weirdo.
A wizard.
Well, yeah, also a wizard, but he's a weirdo wizard. I think it was Blaine Crane posted it earlier this week. He screenshotted basically like the top 25 scoreboard. He said, if somebody asks you to go to a wedding this Saturday, don't. Like this slate of games
Really
is
good.
fantastic.
Plus the golf guys get the Ryder Cup.
Ryder Cup, yeah. In fact, I sent a screenshot to my friends earlier this morning. It said, if anybody needs me, I'll be in my recliner for 17 hours on Saturday.
All right, Bama, Georgia, who you got?
Taking Bama.
I like Bama too, man.
I got the Dogs.
Okay.
I got the Dogs because it's in Athens. I think it's in Tuscaloosa. I probably
drop
take
it there.
Bama.
Bye. And we're done. Let's do the, hey, Luke, why don't we do the beginning?